I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Do you wanna take a life? Do you wanna cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
There we go. Just give it a little hit. It'll be fine. We're back. I don't know what the hell happened. Trying to work it out with Team YouTube, and my partner manager, who could have this done probably within a day, is out until the 18th. For those of you who don't know, on Nerdrotic Live, we had a stream taken down for just the stream was taken down. No strike was given, no warning was given. Just the stream was taken down over the Black Snape video. So some AI bullshit, an AI parody video. We're not going to play here just to be safe. Okay. Just to be safe. And they are really confused on this. So they sent me an email saying, hey, the streams have been taken down, but they didn't say anything about inability to live stream. Well, I can't live stream on Nerdrotic Live for some reason. I don't know. So we're still trying to work that out. Other channels are fine. So we're just going to do this. We're going to do this until I hear from somebody. Now, Team YouTube was very good. They got back to me pretty quick, but I don't think they really understood like what it was taken down for, because they said something about, well, as long as there's an adult there streaming with you, you can stream on the other channels. I'm like, I am 56 years old. I am not a 16-year-old kid. They talked about like lowering the streaming ages. So I don't know what the hell. What the hell happened? But we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, I guess we'll just be streaming here. We'll just be streaming here until I hear from somebody, or until somebody gets mad or whatever, or I just make videos for a month. I don't know. Rather not, because I stream and I make videos. I do both pretty equally. Actually, I stream more. So I don't know what you would call my channel. Retarded. That might be the best way. But good evening. Good morning, everybody. Good evening on the West Coast. Good morning, Central, East Coast. It's 12:34 a.m. And I've been up for 24 hours. Just got back from Japan. Been home for a couple hours, and I just wanted to stream. And I've got to read super chats from that last stream, which I think I can still get to. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's take a look. In the meantime, talk amongst yourselves. It's all right. I was on a plane for many hours today. Left Japan at 5 p.m. What's strange is my flight was technically 2 hours. So I left at 5 p.m. on the 2nd, and I arrived at 7 p.m. on the 2nd. So I had a 2-hour flight. 2-hour flight. It's weird how that works. But Japan was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Michael Collins and Wandering Wolf put together a great tour. 80 of us. It was like a meetup traveling in Japan and staying together for the most part. It's a big place, and Japan is not made for big people or big groups, although they do have a city that is 1 million less than the population of California, which I didn't really think about until I got to Tokyo and went, Jesus Christ, this place is big. But Japan is heaven, and it's the first. Sorry if I'm repeating stuff from the stream. That's gone now. But it's the first time in my life I got back from another country and went, this is a little bit of a downgrade. And allow me to expand on that a little bit before you think I'm hating the country that I love. In Japan, you can, for example, leave your phone somewhere and a nice Japanese person will return it to you, or leave your bag in a shop and a nice Japanese person will return it to you, or leave your shopping bag in another shop and a nice Japanese person will return it to you. It's a very polite, quiet country. We were obnoxious Americans. They don't talk on the trains. We do. We're a little loud, but very welcoming. I'm not huge on cities, but Osaka was amazing. Tokyo, bit dirty in parts. It really does feel like New York, but not as bad. And that's because of the tourists. I don't blame the Japanese for that at all. And yeah, the countryside is heaven, absolute heaven. You don't feel unsafe. Not that there's parts of like San Francisco I would never go. I'm sure there's parts of New York and Chicago I would never go. I was fine. Even it was 1 a.m, Tokyo, people were partying. I was like, I feel totally safe. Not worried about it. They probably all know karate, and they're all ninjas. But yeah, I'm a weeb now. But it was so much fun. And I've been up for 24 hours, a couple cat naps on the plane. I watched all the Deadpool movies. I watched a bunch of Doctor Who. And I watched 6 episodes of Spider Noir, and I like it. I actually thought it was really cool. Are there some issues? Is there a lot of diversity in the Depression era in this alternate universe? Absolutely. Is there a couple of cringe lines? Sure. But for the most part, it was fun. Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. I love the look of, I'm a Pulp fan. So anything that tries to lean into it, I really enjoyed it. Now I haven't seen the last 2 episodes yet, but I heard some people saying that episodes 3 and 4 in particular were like super woke. And I'm like, maybe I need to watch them again. I didn't catch that. If you're just talking about like Tombstone basically saying, I'm not going to work for another white man again. It's like, that didn't bother me. I like people who were, no shade. I'm just pointing something out. It's maybe a little shade. People who are defending the bisexual orgy in Peacemaker were criticizing this. I'm like, Peacemaker's like 1,000 times worse, 1,000 times more woke. Season 2 and 1. So I enjoyed the hell out of it. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever made. You want some good news? Clarkson's Farm season 5 is out right now. I can't wait. We're going to do a watch party tomorrow sometime for the first 2 episodes, if you're a member of the channel. So we will be doing that sometime tomorrow. As far as I know, we're still going to do a nooner tomorrow with Chris Gore, who is he still live? Karen Bass was ahead in the mayoral election for LA. So again, to repeat what I said in the last live stream, Hollywood, this is your last chance. If you are, by the way, IATSE, one of the unions, already openly supported her. Most of Hollywood is supporting a woman who didn't set foot in Los Angeles until 2013, but did set foot in Cuba a lot of times to visit Castro. So this is on you. This is Hollywood committing suicide. If you support this, then you're done. Karen Bass winning this election will end Hollywood. Hollywood was already pretty much over as we know it, as we knew it. Of course, some form of it will always be around, but is it being the centralized location for film, those days are gone. YouTubers, as I said on all of my strike videos, the audience has now become the competition. And now we're seeing it with two low budget horror movies beating a Star Wars movie. If that doesn't end the thesis that a lot of us have been, kind of building over the last 8 to 10 years, I don't know what does. I can't think of anything more poetic than the Mandalorian and Grogu flopping miserably and coming in third place to two movies that cost combined under $2 million to make. And it proves that people just want good stories. Gen Z will watch a fucking movie if it's a good story. If you keep shoveling shit at them, like why would they go? Look at the age range of Gen Alpha and Gen Z. And if you know, for half of their lives, Hollywood's been shoveling shit at them in this worst era in Hollywood. And it's, you know, how Hollywood used to reinvent itself was the same way any music or publishing would reinvent itself, is when things get too corporate, you know, there's an independent revolution like we had in the 90s. My favorite movies from the 90s were not the blockbusters. They were all indie films. And it was a great era for indie films. And that has been gone. And I know Chris has been the champion of that forever. And I know we can't like rely on simple horror movies where, you know, somebody who was murdered, their shoe was found in a house and they have to deal with this like demonic shoe, you know, stuff like that, which I'd still watch, by the way. It's very Twilight Zone. But, you know, now we need to see the independent sphere like expand beyond horror to like, I know a lot of people are like, we're in the independent revolution. Pump the brakes. It's horror, which is much easier to make, by the way. And it doesn't make it any less innovative. It's great. But now we need independent comedies. We need the comedy to come back. We need independent fantasy, sci-fi, dramas, and not just like two lesbians sitting at a table being sad. We need something interesting. And the easiest way to do that is do what they did in the 90s, have crime dramas. So, yeah. And yes, I heard about Stargate. And as I just posted on Twitter, I'm bummed out for the Stargate fans, who are some of the most passionate fans of anything out there. And your show, for the most part, has been, whatever the quality is based on what I've heard, has still remained intact. And even though you had one of the original showrunners coming back, I just want you to remember Russell T Davies came back to Doctor Who, and it was a disaster. So you might be better off. I think you're just better off at that. I think this is the best news possible. Maybe 5 years down the road, maybe 10 years down the road, you revisit it again. And if Hollywood decides to purge the demonic activist forces that have ruined their industry. But I don't think that's even possible. So just don't use Hollywood anymore. Just don't use them. But let's see who's here. You know, gay cowboys eating pudding. That kind of stuff. I'm over it. So we got Scott Jonesy, Ribsy, Historic Entertainment, Drew, Saint Cimmerian, the Cimmerian, Raging Rhino, dude. Mandalorian and Grogu tracking like thunderbolts. You know, I was kind of with Ryan when he said, hey, you know, maybe the Grogu factor will give it some legs and it'll outperform Thunderbolts. That is clearly not happening right now. People are sick of it. And now everybody, even political people who never talk about Star Wars are like, there might be a problem with Star Wars now. Somebody should have said something. Yeah, you know, that's such as life. I don't need credit. Drinker doesn't need credit. Geeks and Gamers well, Jeremy might want a little credit. But I just am glad people are realizing this now, that the chuds were right. We would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those pesky little chuds. Those pesky chuds. So it looks like I can get to the soups of the deleted stream. No, what? They're all gone. They're all gone. Yeah. Okay. I will talk to YouTube about this, but they are gone. Ugh. Well, I'm sure they took your money So in the next 24 to 48 hours, if any of you super chat, if you remembered what you super chat, please email me at gary@nerdrotic.com and we'll try to find a way to read those. I will contact YouTube. I would hope at the very least you get your money back if they're taking them away. If they just, so what YouTube wasn't clear on was what or how long I am not able to live stream on Nerdrotic Live because I was not giving a warning. I was not given a strike, and like taking the video down is whatever. That happens from time to time. Fair enough. I don't care. But usually the super chats are still there. So this is odd. This is very odd. And if they're going to like, hit my channel, they're going to hit all of them. And they haven't. So it feels like it's a mistake that hopefully we can work out before the 18th. Again, my partner manager's gone till the 18th. He would have fixed this in a day. We will do a square up for the past FNTs in the next 72 hours, probably Thursday. Probably Thursday. X-Ray Girl is still getting all those together, but that will happen. Jesus Christ. I thought I could read tonight's at least. Sorry about that, guys. As you were saying, yes, I was, hopefully Perry can make clips out of, I already talked about the Black Starks and how ridiculous that was. And I reacted to the House of the Dragon final trailer, which I have mixed feelings about. I think it looks really good, and I think it sounds potentially bad. And I'm still trying to catch up on everything. There's still the Odyssey shit going on, which very well might be my next video since I re-listened to the Odyssey. So I'm all caught up on the lore. Ian McKellen reads it. It's good. But let's go with the one I didn't get to, where let's see if I can find an article on this. Since all of my people are still in Japan or on planes. And I think Perry's asleep. And Grogu bomb. Let's just try that. Let's see that. Nope, it's a bunch of Reddit articles. There's Cosmic Book News. Fuck it, we'll just use Cosmic Book News. Matt McGloin. And our boy, Matt McGloin. Well, let's get a couple of these just in case something else happens. Welcome back to the gayness of AI Tube. Yep. It's bound to happen. The key to these things is to use the famous words of Douglas Adams. Don't panic. Don't panic. Like I said, I have a partner manager who I have a very good relationship with who would have fixed this in 24 hours. But he's gone till the 18th. It's like, shit. Shit. Amazon cancel the Stargate series. They said that I was not appealing to modern audiences. I am happy and sad at the same time. Hope you're okay. I am good. South Perspective. I just got off a trip that is going to be like peak memories. Hanging out with 80 members of the fellowship, traveling through Japan, seeing megalithic marvels like, God, what is it? Shiprock. This giant, like, it makes no sense. The thing is in the middle of a bamboo forest on the top of a mountain, and it's carved in, like, it makes no sense. It's huge. I have a picture of it on a video of it on Twitter. And not a lot of the megalithic people have made it there because there isn't a lot of stuff like Egypt or Greece, right? It's very sparse in Japan, but it's still worth the trip. Totally worth the trip. 2 membership messages. Technically, first live stream. Did you see the Rick Beato? Beato. I always call him Beato, but Beato. Oh shit. Hang on a second. I got to tell Perry, don't use the one I sent him. Don't use the one I sent use next one. I sent him the live stream. I have a copy of the live stream. And I cut out. So what I got hit for was the Black Snake video, which is fine on YouTube. It's fine for community guidelines. Ryan warned me, but it's fine. But yeah, AI hit us for that. Rick Beato interviews with Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Terry Brown. I have not yet. I am a subscriber to his channel. I think he's great, particularly with culturally. What he talks about with music is exactly what's happening to film. It's happening to every medium out there, because when things become digitized, they become disposable. And when they become disposable, or you have access to previous libraries, it's Hollywood and music in competition with itself. It used to be hard. Sorry to sound like an old man, but we used to sit by the radio and wait for a song to play and hit record on our cassette tapes and have the DJ intro and outro, because we couldn't afford a full album, or we just wanted that song. That's how, if we wanted to listen to a song, we waited for it to play on the radio. And if it's something like punk rock that I listen to, you never heard it on the radio. Maybe Holiday in Cambodia once in a while, but that's it. And some Sex Pistols, but you weren't getting any SOD, GBH, Descendants. You weren't getting any of that on the radio. So we had to sit around and wait, or I don't know, rip off the Columbia Record Club, or save your money to go to Lose Records in Encinitas, which is still there, by the way. But he is great on breaking down like the death of music, and it's because it got digitized, and then it became it was a commodity that I hate pop music. It's the least innovative music out there. The last innovative guy with pop music was Michael Jackson, obviously. But yeah, the same thing is happening to film, right? And the only way they're going to survive it is with an independent revolution. Gary, could you please play Mixtape? You have the time now. I do. I just need to be able to stream it. Apparently I could still stream. So again, when they hit an account, they usually hit all the channels, but they just hit one. So it's like, all right, I just need to know the length of suspension. That's all I need, which they didn't tell me. They just said, we took the video down, but everything else is okay. But it's not okay. But it's not. Osaka is the birthplace of one of my favorite bands, Shonen Knife. Yes. And it's heart of the Japanese punk. Love that city. I love Osaka. Love Osaka. I like Tokyo too. The diversity was the least addressed, was at least addressed in Natural. Oh, in Spider Noir? Yeah. They do address it, and I don't have a problem with it. Choose your battles, I guess, for me. I just try to be consistent. If it's explained, I don't really care. But when it's Black Helen of Troy, Black Snape, and now Black Starks, you know why they did it. There was no creative. It wasn't a creative decision. It was a political decision. It was a decision made by an activist. Black Ned Stark, Black Benjen Stark, Black Lyanna Stark. Are you kidding me? And Lyanna Stark is the one who pretty much caused Robert's rebellion. So it's the Helen of Troy of fucking The Song of Ice and Fire. And hey, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what she looks like. Let's go there real quick before we get to Mandalorian. It's a stream of conscious stream, by the way. Oh, look at Alec Baldwin's finger tweeting about Japan. Where am I? Here we go. Here's the cast for The Mad King, a play that Ryan and I have tickets for already. That's playing at the Royal Shakespeare Theater. And it's about the Tournament of Harrenhal. And if you are a Song of Ice and Fire fan, you know how important that is to Robert's rebellion. You will also see Rhaegar Targaryen. And this is canonical, by the way. canonical to the books and everything. And it will give you kind of the inside dope on what led to Robert's rebellion. Well, let's take a look. Again, on the top left is Harmony Rose Bremer as Lyanna Stark and Noah Ritter as Rhaegar Targaryen. Well, they can give him a blonde wig, but she doesn't have long black or brown hair. Most, if not all, the Starks have either gray eyes, essentially. The one below her is Ned Stark. Next to him, Benjen Stark. So, as I said in the last stream, there's a little cream in that coffee with Lyanna, a little cream in the coffee with Ned, not so much cream in the coffee with Benjen. So, somebody was fucking around. And then, just to get ultra nerdy on you, the one on the bottom left is Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning, a Dane who have Valyrian features. We know how much that counts, though, with House of the Dragon. But they're not Valyrian. Their family is older, probably from the Empire of the Dawn. And then the one next to him is Ashara Dane, who was another woman who complicated things because other people were hot for her, like Ned Stark. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, let's go to Mandalorian and Grogu. Mandalorian and Grogu from Cosmic Book News, Matt McGloin. The Mandalorian and Grogu bombs. Disney needs to stop avoiding Luke Skywalker. I would agree with that. I mean, because Star Wars is the Skywalker family, as much as people want to argue that it just is. And if you're going anywhere else, particularly in the future, you're basically making a new franchise that might have some similarities. But you either got to completely get away from the Skywalkers, or what they're going to do is remake the original trilogy. It's saying it for 10 years. Eventually, I'm going to be right. Eventually, I'm going to be right. Let me get this program out of here. There we go. All right. So, Mandalorian and Grogu, not a good movie at all. Not the worst Star Wars movie ever made. I think, I did. I did make a joke saying May the 4th worst Star Wars film be with you, but technically I think it's the 5th worst. I don't think it's worse than Solo. Solo's a catastrophe. Variety has now confirmed what I just said and was already clear from weekend numbers. Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu is collapsing at the box office. The film earned only $6.5 million on its second Friday, a 70% drop from opening day. Rival studios estimate now that they have the movie heading towards a $25 million weekend, down from projections of $40 million. Is there a Variety box office or Hollywood Reporter? There we go. 2 days ago. So Mandalorian has 71. So Backrooms did $81 million, which is amazing. Obsession had another unprecedented jump. It's been jumping up. And we have these two independent horror films beating a Star Wars movie. You can't write a better ending. You really can't. From the thesis of many channels, videos we have made over the last 8 years, stating like, this is exactly where Star Wars is going to go if you keep going in this direction. This idiocy, this hubris of wanting to fix George Lucas's Star Wars, and that fix is we need more diversity. And it's forced diversity. And it hasn't worked. And people might say, well, there's Andor. And I will respond with, nobody watched Andor. Nobody watched Andor. I liked parts of Andor, and I thought parts of it were absolute Disney Star Wars trash. For example, the lesbians, whose name I can't remember because I don't care, could have been completely taken out of that story and nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. Oh, wow. Let's see if we can blow this up to there we go. Something I can read. Haven't seen Backrooms or Obsession. I want to see them like as soon as possible. This weekend was one for the box office history books. Movie theaters across the nation were jamming with Gen Z crowds who showed up en masse for not one, but two buzzy horror films. A24's Backrooms collected a jaw-dropping, record-breaking $81 million from 3,442 North American theaters in its opening weekend. That's as ticket sales for the Focus Features breakout Obsession jumped again in the third frame with 26.4 million from 2,781 cinemas and crossed the 100 million mark domestically. I'm not very good at math, everybody, but I think it made a profit. I think it made a profit because, well, we'll find out. I'm not sure what the Backrooms budget was. Obsession was under $1 million. So I think it's made money. Both movies were directed by YouTube stars and cost nearly nothing to produce, upending conventional wisdom about the necessary components for a hit. Well, how many times has Hollywood spent hundreds of millions of dollars and not gotten a hit? More than they've gotten a hit. And this has been happening for more than half a decade. And what's going to eventually make them realize that there's a problem? The only way you can hit Hollywood where it hurts, you embarrass them. You hit them in the ego. You show that they aren't relevant anymore. They can lose money. They can get dragged for saying stupid shit on the red carpet. They're not going to care. But if you make them look bad, holy shit. And we've been saying, well, they've been looking bad for years. But when you get a general consensus that they look bad and they start feeling embarrassed and shame because shame works, that's when things change. That's why I continue to watch this stuff, because it's fun to make fun of. I don't care about Disney Star Wars. Nothing will move the needle for me from Disney Star Wars except a good chuckle. The original fare ruling is especially striking at the start of the summer movie season, a period that's usually dominated by major franchises. Yet Disney Star Wars, just call it Disney Star Wars spinoff, The Mandalorian and Grogu, or Mango and Grok, suffered a catastrophic 70% drop in its second weekend, signaling the property isn't catering beyond an aging group of core fans. Despite playing on more screens, the Mango and Grogu, Guku, whatever the fuck, I almost said something racial there, landed in third place on weekend charts behind Backrooms and Obsession. Third fucking place. Dave Filoni. It is a Dave Filoni film. Your future, Disney Star Wars fans, was placed in the hands of a man who just made a film directed by Jon Favreau that lost to two movies that cost the amount of fucking what's a good analogy? No, it wouldn't even be that. It wouldn't even be that. I would say the bail money for Harvey Weinstein, but it was more. It was more. Directed by 20-year-old Kane Parsons, Backrooms has earned, congratulations, Kane. Well done, lad. Well fucking done. Has earned $118 million globally so far. That's fucking amazing. And what is he, 20? I'd love to hear it. God bless America. The psychological thriller has obliterated projections, with early tracking suggesting a 40 million to 50 million domestic debut with a production budget of roughly, okay, so it's 10 million. So I think this one's made money too. It's already one of the most profitable movies of the year, though a sequel hasn't been announced. Parsons has already started toying with the idea of turning Backrooms into a film franchise. You go, girl. You fucking go. You get that bag. You did it. Your mom and dad should be proud of you. And fellow YouTubers are very proud of you. Most of us. I don't know. Has anybody done they talked about it on Real BBC. Anybody done a health check on Stuckman? Is he okay? Is Stuckman okay? I saw The Back Rooms. It was really neat. It was directed by a YouTuber and it was filmed. A script was written and the actors recited the lines from the script with some inflection, maybe even some ad-libbing. There was lighting, there was directing, there was catering behind the scenes, and somebody edited the film and put it out in theaters. I thought it was neat. Get Stuckmanized. It's my best impression of a Stuckman review based on the 2 or 3 that I've seen. Crushing the record set by Alex Garland's 2024 thriller Civil War, which fucking sucked, with 25.5 million. It also ranked as the biggest debut in history for an original horror, as well as the best start for a first-time filmmaker on a non-franchise film. Parsons is the youngest director by far to have the #1 film in the box office. The benchmark was previously held by Josh Trank, who was 27 when 2012's Chronicle, which I liked a lot, opened in first place with 22 million. Based on Parsons' hit web series, Backrooms follows a furniture store owner, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I never remember his name, which sucks because I think the guy's a great actor. He was fucking brilliant in Serenity. And if we're going to have a black doctor, that would have been the guy. That would have been the guy. He would have been a great doctor, who finds a secret doorway that leads him to a seemingly endless stretch of nondescript rooms. When he disappears, his therapist, your therapist is going to look for you? Well, I mean, that's a pretty good bill. Yeah. Whatever her name is, ventures into the unknown to rescue him. Nearly 85% of the audience were under the age of 35 and more than 50% were 25 or younger, according to post-track data. Now, I saw Jeremy John's review and they say it goes on a bit too long, but it seems like the fans like it a lot. Parsons and Barker are part of a wave of YouTubers. I mean, yeah, three successful, 1 not so successful. You okay, buddy? You okay, Chris? Parsons and Barker are part of a wave of YouTubers who have turned their talents to the big screen and brought their enormous youthful fan bases along with them. Earlier this year, YouTube creator Mark Fishback directed, self-financed, and distributed the horror film Iron Lung, which earned a stellar $50 million against a $3 million budget. I think that made money too. Are they going to mention Chris Stuckman? Let me go. Nope. Oh, no. Dude, you had Flanagan's name on your movie. What's all the more impressive is that Backrooms and Obsession aren't cannibalizing each other at the box office. In fact, Obsession rose 10% from the prior weekend, which is already up as a stunning 39% from its solid 17 million debut. It's defying box office norms as the first film since E.T. the Extraterrestrial in 1982 to see ticket sales increase in its second and third weekends outside of the holiday season, according to Focus. After 3 weekends of release, Obsession has grossed $106 million domestically and $148 million worldwide against a mere $1 million production budget. It's already the highest grossing domestic release for Focus, besting the tally of 2019's Downton Abbey with $96.8 million in North America. God, nature is healing. Blumhouse Atomic Monster has the #1 and #2 movies in the country this weekend, both made for almost no money. Theaters are, $10 million is not no money, guys. Produced by Jason Blum, wrote on Twitter, "What a time to be making scary movies." No shit. No shit. This is such good news. This is your white pill moment that you've been waiting for. Two little YouTuber kids making it big. I love it. As Backrooms and Obsession generated the lion's share of the attention, The Mandalorian and Grogu tumbled to third place with just $25 million from 4,300 venues in its sophomore outing. Such a catastrophic decline signals the force didn't remain strong during the franchise's 7-year absence from the big screen. Guess not. Who could have saw that coming? Though insiders at the company were aware The Mandalorian and Grogu could pose a challenge as the continuation of D+'s series. So far, the Star Wars installment has generated $137.4 million domestically and $246.6 globally. It's found money in the eyes of cinema operators who knew Disney could have dropped The Mandalorian and Grogu on its streaming service, which it should have, for the studio, which produced the space opera spinoff for $165 million. And if you believe that, I've got some land to sell you. Movie theaters represent another revenue stream before the movie lands on D+. Oh, that is a nice spin there. Meanwhile, the company is hoping that the next summer's Star Wars Starfighter, an original adventure directed by Sean Levy, watched Deadpool and Wolverine again. So I watched all the Deadpool movies back to back on the plane. I was way too harsh on Deadpool too. That I was fucking laughing my ass off. And then I got to Deadpool and Wolverine, which I liked. It's a little different watching it through the lens of the whole Justin Baldoni or whatever the fuck his name is. And it's just a little different experience. But having watched it again, yeah, it's not very good. It's just not. It's okay. Hugh Jackman carries it completely. But yeah, Sean Levy is gonna direct Ryan Gosling, who was in so far my favorite movie of the year, Project Hail Mary. Serves as a fresh start for the franchise. Really? So what was that? Was that a placeholder? What did Drinker call it? The quartering video of Star Wars movies? I don't think he worded it exactly like that, but that's what he meant. Weekend 2 had to be big, but Mandalorian and Grogu just crashed and burned, says Bach. That's more of a reception of this film than the larger Star Wars unit. Bullshit. Bro. God, they never fucking learn. They never fucking learn. It's more of it's more of a critique on this movie than the Star Wars franchise. Let me tell you something, Bach. I watched The Mandalorian and Grogu twice for my review, unfortunately. And it's bad. But if it would have come out after season 2, since it has no connection to season 3, say it came out after season 2, it would have done better. It would have, I'm not going to say it wouldn't have made $2 billion, but it would have done better. Because it's really inoffensive. Like, it's not, intersectional feminist trash, although there is a girl boss, because every kid wants to see a 76-year-old woman pilot a fucking X-Wing fighter. But it would have done better. And the reason it didn't do better is because it is affected by everything that came before, and I'm going to include Andor, which nobody watched. Because Andor, which I half liked and half loathed, now acts as a comparison, because there are things in Andor tonally, not canonically, but tonally, and a single scene in The Mandalorian season 1 and parts of Rogue One. That's what we thought, we Gen Xers thought Star Wars was going to be growing up a little bit. Like the Empire scenes in Andor are good. And tonally, that's what we were looking for. If you want to know, like, what were you going to like? That's what we were going to like. But you ruined it with a bunch of lesbians. And the fact that you made lesbians ruin something, that's a story and a stream and a video for another day. With much of the attention on Backrooms and Obsession, 2 other new releases, who cares? Breadwinner, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Man, they are still sweeping for Mandalorian and Grogu, aren't they? Matt, the Michael Jackson biopic is doing really well. It's playing in Japan. I was at the Toho Theater in Tokyo, and they had a giant Godzilla right above Michael Jackson, and I posted Godzilla versus Michael Jackson. I'm going to take Godzilla in that one. Just M. He's bigger and alive. Next weekend could produce a horror trifecta with Paramount's parody sequel, Scary Movie. Then summer should be sizzling with Steven Spielberg's sci-fi adventure Disclosure Day. I want that to be good, but Steven Spielberg is an elitist now and not the person he was when he was making movies in the 80s and really capturing the zeitgeist and what it was like to live. Like with E.T. and Poltergeist, a movie that some were arguing last weekend, like who directed it, Tobe Hooper or Spielberg. Tobe Hooper was the cinematographer. Spielberg was the director. And you just look at how he blocks scenes and look at other Tobe Hooper movies, and it doesn't match. But in both of those movies, it really captured suburban America, particularly where I grew up in Southern California, where you're in tract home housing and it's still being built. So there's a bunch of empty lots and we got our BMX bikes and we jump. That's exactly what it looked like when I was a kid. And it really felt like you were watching a movie that, it really just connected with all of us. I like E.T. I'm not the biggest E.T. fan in the world. I love Poltergeist. I fucking love that movie. But Spielberg is gone. Oh, and then we have Toy Story 5, which is going to make $1 gazillion. And then we have Supergirl, guys. Supergirl, which is going to make Marvel's money. It's going to make Marvel's money. It's looking that way. So when does Mandalorian and Grogu end up on Disney Plus? A couple weeks. I give Supergirl 30 days before it's on VOD. Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think, is going to make a lot of money. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I'm so confused about everything about that because, what I've heard is when I first, from my inside source who was let go, so he's gone now, told me about the Punisher and Hulk being in it. I was running hints on Twitter. I wasn't saying it out loud, but every time one of the scoopers would post something about it, I just put an image of the Punisher and Hulk under them all the time. And it was supposed to be some force, some person is manipulating the Punisher or the Hulk and turns the Hulk savage at some point. I didn't know it was going to be Jean Grey until my source told me it's Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. So they're introducing a Fox character in a Sony movie? He's all, yep. That's weird. But then there's The Hand. And The Hand is led by a girl who's not Elektra. It's like, I don't know. And then there's going to be the biggest shitstorm of the summer, The Odyssey. The Odyssey. I think Metatron has made 5 Odyssey videos since I started the stream. But that one's going to be the biggest shitstorm of the summer. And the biggest shitstorm in pop culture on streaming will be Harry Potter. Let's get to the people, shall we? Oh my God, there's 2,800 of you here in an unannounced impromptu stream. Thank you. Hail. We have Cameraman Zero says, welcome back. Thank you. I am happy to be back. I missed you guys a lot. I did. I missed you guys a lot. I got to sip some water here. Cough. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I got sick. The last 2 days I was in Japan, and I knew it was allergies. So something in Tokyo, man, I've never sneezed that much in my life. I was just sneezing the whole time. I have sore ribs from sneezing so much. And then as soon as I get in the plane, fly away, feel better. But God, Japan is awesome. If you guys have a chance, it's not cheap to get there, but the dollar goes a long way there. If you guys get a chance, if there's anything worth going into a little bit of debt for, I'm not a big fan of debt. Believe me, I've been through bankruptcy. Not a fan of debt. But if there's anything that's worth it, it's not a thing, maybe a house, but not even a car, but an experience that you'll never forget. Japan is an amazing country. And it shows you that it is possible to have a society that's polite, a society that's based on kindness, a society where little kids can get on a train without their parent, 10-year-olds, and they're perfectly safe. And it's adorable to watch the little elementary school Japanese kids with their little duck hats on, and they cross the street and they all put their hands up, and then the driver like bows, and then they bow back to the driver. I mean, that everything about that rules. And very welcoming, very nice. Yes, they get annoyed at the gaijins, and fucking we are annoying. I put up a post that got it went places. I didn't intend it to, but I was just showing Osaka at 7 a.m. on a weekday, and there was no horns. Everybody was quiet. There was no sirens. There's no fentanyl zombies. The cities don't smell like piss and shit. And it's like, this is possible. This is actually possible if you enforce laws and you have a mutual respect society. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with it being an ethno state. These are just things like, oh, if I bring it up, I'm a Nazi. And fucking shut the fuck up. That's just the way things are. You know, there's the way things people want them to be, and then there's the way things are. And you go to Japan and you see it's possible. And this was stuff that I saw in my country 40 years ago, 30 years ago. You know, there was a time where I could go to school on my own, be perfectly safe. So it was brilliant. And then it's also beautiful. It's gorgeous. G'day, Gary. Resending my super. Oh, you didn't have to do that from the last stream. We will find them. But yeah, you don't have to pay to, like, if you can remember your super chat, just email it to X-Ray Girl and I'll figure out where they went. They usually don't go away. So that's fucked up. So I hope you got your money back, and please tell me if you didn't, because that is something I will bring up to you too. And I do have a person to talk to. He's just on vacation. Resending my super chat from last stream. Have you ordered the Lego Minas Tirith set yet? Yes, absolutely. 100%. Oh, yes. How Stark, watermelon, and Kool-Aid when? You know, they'll probably do it. You know, sometimes in their attempt to not be racist, they just circle back down to actually being racist, because that's what they are. Because these are fundamentally, these are racist decisions to recast white characters. But it's not just recasting the white characters. It's, we need to give black people something that belonged to the white people. We need to take something away from the white people to give them to the black people because the black people can't do it on their own. And of course, it's white people making these decisions. And that is the bigotry of the soft bigotry, not so soft, bigotry of lowered expectations. Did you think it was the Hot D trailer that probably got YouTube AI act up? Something I don't know. Also, the gentleman villain is my favorite speech. Oh, okay. Yes. Mexi Rage. No, it was 100% the Black Snake video. They did give me a timestamp on that, but then the information after, I don't want to bore you with YouTube shit. They usually like, here's what we took down, here's why we took it down, and here's how long you're busted for. None of that. So essentially, they're acting like they gave my channel a strike, Nerdrotic Live, but they didn't. They just took a video down, which is fine. I'm not going to fight it or anything. I'd just like to see the super chats, and I'd like to know like how long I'm busted for. How long am I in streaming jail on Nerdrotic Live? And I haven't gotten a straight answer on that yet. Wait, there are Black Starks in House of the Dragon? No, there's Black Valerians. Black Valerians. The block is for 24 hours. I might be wrong. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You know what though? It took down my the FNT stream. So this is a good opportunity. We're gonna do 24-hour streaming of videos next once Garrett gets back. When we were leaving Japan, a typhoon was on its way, so that caused a lot of flight delays. I was able to beat it. Thank goodness. Proteron 017 for 50 New Zealand pesos. Hey, Gary, something I noticed in Man Cave and Grug is that his N1 has no landing gear in the film. It annoys me to no end because I'm left to think that the Mando is running his fuel tank to empty, just hovering there. Really, in this economy, I know. My God, gas is like $3.50 in Texas. It's a crime. Seen Obsession yet? If not, you'll love it. I have not seen it, Doc Possum. I plan to see it this week. I have a lot of catching up to do. I could have made 4 videos last week, but you know what? I was in Japan. And I highly recommend this to any content creator out there. And it's possible. It's not impossible. You just got to do a little extra work. What I did was busted my ass, got some stuff done before the vacation so I can actually have a vacation and take that week off. And everybody needs to take some time off. Everybody. Because the minute this feels like it's a grind and a job, I don't want to do it anymore. I said that at the comic store too. Welcome back, Gary. Now, try to convince Chris Gore and company to escape LA once and for all. Did Bass, is it a runoff? Let me check the LA Mayoral election. Okay, so it's going to be Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt. She led, which honestly doesn't surprise me, as far as I know. Bass led with 36 to 37% of the vote, and Pratt 29-30. It's not rigged, guys. That's fucking LA. That's Los Angeles, and they get what they fucking deserve. But if I was Chris Gore, I would be making arrangements. It's not like any state is safe. It's because, God, Bill Maher of all people said it when he was interviewing Spencer Pratt, and not everybody's going to agree with me on this one, but I think it's the reality of the situation. I am not a team player. I don't belong to any party. Reason being was, for the longest time, I couldn't vote. So whatever, but I've always been an independent, and I've always, since COVID, since 2020, I'm more focused on local. And I think there does need to be a balance. I don't really love one party being completely in charge. I think there needs to be some sort of checks and balance. I wish the libertarians weren't so retarded. It would be nice to have a third strong party that's really about, lowering taxes and property rights and stuff. But unfortunately, there isn't. That's just not the reality of the world. I think as it stands right now, progressives are a massive danger to this country. Communists, socialists are a massive danger to this country. So what that does is it makes things way more divisive. And I don't like it when we're divisive. I remember when we were just arguing over fucking healthcare, right? Those are the days. Those were the days. By the way, nothing got handled with healthcare. It's actually fucking worse. Thanks, Obama. But Bill Maher said, you don't want one party in charge for too long completely because they become corrupt and drunk with power. It's just human nature. And I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. But when it comes to California, they have redistricted the state completely. They were trying to do it again. It's like, why bother? You have a supermajority. You've been in control since Schwarzenegger left, and he was pretty much a Republican in name only and weak as a governor. I voted for him twice. Not that it counted, but I did. And I think there's just some lost causes, but that can happen to other states. And what's happened was the progressives and the Democrats have been really fucking smart. And what they do is they fill up, for example, here in Texas, last election, I noticed 21 judge seats that ran unopposed. It was just a Democrat. That's how they're winning. So and this is on us. This is on us. The presidential election. It's important, but it's the one that everybody pays attention to. But the most important is your local election and those 21 unopposed judges. That's a fucking problem. They just had to get rid of one in Texas, some crazy lesbian who was a crazy lesbian, and they let her in. And she got booted and might be going to jail for her abuse of power. But until that gets fought in a real way, and that only gets fought if we are interested in midterms and local elections. That's the only way. We can't expect one guy to come in and fix everything. That's not reality. And it's not even possible for one human, right? You can have your criticisms of this Trump term as much as you want. And there's a lot of people out there who feel like the rug was pulled, and you got to listen to them. And not content creators, but people, actual people in the real world. The Megyn Kellys of the world, and they always go whatever, look at Bill Maher. Bill Maher is the one that's kind of going the opposite, which is weird. Megyn Kelly, it is so bizarre, the political sphere. And it's so full of shit on fucking YouTube. They're all gay, degenerate drug addicts. But I think that about a lot of people. But they're always swinging to which way the wind blows, and and it hasn't been eye-opening. It's been expected and unsurprising, which makes me a jaded old man. But oh well. But nobody should be surprised that Megyn Kelly is flip-flopping all the time. Should be on OnlyFans next. Not a fan. Resending this from earlier stream, Obsession was good. Backrooms was great. But the real media darling of the past week, YouTube, is about 200,000 stolen Legos, corrupt cops, and Mormons. It's a bear. I've only slightly looked into this. And man, I'm trying to say objective. I saw the couple that was being interviewed and the "We kill fascists," which nobody likes fascists. Fuck fascists. But we know what that means. Behind them, I'm like, But it does sound like a guy came in and, correct me if I'm wrong, came in and bought a franchise, and there was an old man's collection on consignment that should have been returned to him. Instead, it was stolen, and now the store's closed down, and there's Mormon corruption. With apologies to my Mormon friends, the Mormon mafia is a very real thing. Is a very real thing. Look into Mitt Romney's relation, like all the people related to Mitt Romney who are corrupt and are part of that Mormon group in Mexico and all that shit. You remember when the Mormon tourists got killed in Mexico a couple of years ago? That was a hit. That wasn't just some random thing. But yeah, the Mormon mafia is very real. I'm going to get in trouble. I mean, Utah's like Mormon Israel. Oh, and this is going to sound even worse. I have Mormon friends. But yeah, I don't know much about it to comment it on more of that. It looks like police corruption. It looks like there's some corruption going on, but I got to look into it more. But it's a big story. It's a big story. I saw Nicholas DiOrio talking about it. He did a segment on it, and others have done it. So good work. And I hope that and I think the guy's dying. I hope he gets his Legos back. It's $200,000 worth of Legos. Just fucking give it back to the dude. Why do they need them so much? That's weird. Gary trying to get 2 strikes. Yeah, we'll have Shad explain it all. No, Shad isn't going to be for theft, okay? I think that's against the Mormon doctrine. Resend, to be fair, Tyrion held back Daenerys long enough for Drogon to develop thermobaric bombs from his mouth, allowed Dany to literally carpet bomb King's Landing. That was so dumb. I'm a Mormon in the area and deeply embarrassed. The church needs to speak out, even though they didn't do anything directly, and Mitt Romney sucks. Hail, brother, Saint Sumerian. Yeah, I got nothing against individual Mormons at all. At all. Like I said, I've got Mormon friends. And listen, if somebody like stole my collection, I wouldn't be going to the police. It'd be fucking on. That is on. It'd be like kidnapping one of my kids. To hell with the police, especially with God, that poor English kid who got stabbed, and they're not releasing the body cam footage, and we all know why. And this is where progressive stuff leads. It's almost exactly like George Floyd, except the kid actually was a victim and wasn't on fentanyl and died of an overdose. Maybe white people. Oh, I can't say that on YouTube. Yeah. Maybe people should respond similarly in situations like that, especially when it's the cop. Listen, I've got cop friends. I think the good cops out there, man, good job. I don't break out my pom-poms for the police for obvious reasons. I think they've done a lot of bad during COVID, just following orders. Like, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and the police are not your friends. They're not. There's some good ones out there, but there's some real bad ones out there too. In Minnesota, they abandoned a police department. They ran. They fucking ran. Yeah, but British cops, fuck them, man. Oh boy, I can't say that stuff. I'm trying to get a visa over there. So yeah, the UK, The UK requires a visa now to go there. Now, you guys are fine. If you want to go over there, you just do what's called an ETA. It's pretty easy. I can't. So I have to apply for a standard visa. I have to find a barrister. I probably have to call my congressman to go to a country I've been to 3 times in the last 25 years with no problem. But it's because of my felony. Now, maybe if I go to France and get on a boat with a bunch of Pakistani people, maybe I can get in that way. Yes, they did ban Hassan Piker. Listen, as funny as that is, fuck Hassan. I still think he should be allowed there. It's all about free speech, right? I mean, he's a fucking idiot. It would have been great to see him debate Charlie Kirk. Didn't Hassan say? I don't want to attribute this to him if he didn't say it, but I heard on Twitter, so it has to be true, that he said that Charlie Kirk dodged the debate, and the debate was scheduled after he got shot. That sounds like something Hassan would say. Fucking, he did say it? Jesus Christ. Idiot is putting he's a fucking piece of shit. But pieces of shit should be allowed to speak. Okay? I'm still going to laugh at him getting banned. But I could get banned. Or they could just not give me a visa. Michael Savage is banned, as far as I know. Has been for years. That is unbelievable. That's gone. Checking again. Jesus Christi. Did Ryan escape from Japan? Not yet. He might be on a plane now. Expedia just canceled his flight. Expedia screwed up him. Expedia screwed up his order, and United canceled it. Expedia didn't give him his money back, didn't give him a solution to fix it. So he had to go and book another flight. And I think he's going to try his traveler's insurance or a chargeback on his card last time I checked with him. But he will escape today, I think, because the typhoon is gone. Thank you. Jason, for $2 says, Gary, glad you're back. Hail the fellowship. Hail the fellowship. The fellowship is wonderful. They travel so well. We had such a good time. I want to shout out young Jean-Luc. There was a kid on our trip named Jean-Luc. And it was the first time he traveled by himself. And it was awesome to see. He just loved every minute of it. And a lot of times on these trips, we'll have people come along who aren't the most outwardly social people, which is totally understandable. And by the end of the trip, they are, and it's really fun to see that. And it's because it's not just my channel, but any channel. I think the fellowship gets along because they automatically know that, we don't have to walk around eggshells around each other. We can fucking joke and be dudes, and the women can be dudes, not in the tranny way, but you know what I mean. And it makes, it just makes it easier. I don't know why it works, but it works. Mexi Rage for 5 says, also, did you hear Jeremy's new argument for the binge and weekly release model might be his dumbest argument for the binge model, LOL. Super femcel flops. I can't believe Jeremy had the argument without me on FNT. I'm a little hurt by that. Okay. Hurt my feeling. But Vera, I'm sure Vera's got it. The binge model, from a business perspective, is fucking retarded. It works for Netflix, and it undeniably works for Netflix. But it's also unsustainable. It's just unsustainable, and it will bite Netflix in the ass. And it's okay to change it. Now, I think once in a while it's fine. I think with certain stuff, absolutely drop it all at once. Spider Noir, they should have released weekly. One Piece season 2 should have been released weekly. And I don't think there's any in between. I think it's binge or weekly. Don't do this 3-episode chunk bullshit. I don't think that works. If you want your show to be in the cultural zeitgeist, to be talked about, to get the greatest marketing known to marketing that cannot be replicated by some department filled with fucking chicks, is word of mouth. Word of mouth. What is word of mouth creating right now? 2 films that beat a Star Wars movie. Word of mouth. One Piece season 2 was really good. I don't think it was as good as season 1, but it was really good. And people would have been talking about it for 2 months. Instead, they talked about it for a week and a half. And then it makes the time between seasons feel longer, because it is. Now, there's a bunch of people out there who I want dessert before dinner. I want whatever I want when I want it. And you can have that once it's done airing, but it's not good for the business. And then you're giving up millions and millions of dollars worth of free marketing. What made A Night of the Seven Kingdoms so successful to where it was averaging 37 million viewers was word of mouth. But I'd be happy to debate Jeremy on that. Again. Gary, heard a rumor that Nunes now needs to travel in a wheelchair. Who? Noonies? I'm confused on this one. What's up, Channel Surf? I'm really confused about that one. But how you doing, brother? I hope you still have that hat and your cool little mustache and beard. Hope life is treating you well. Noons? She does not. No, she's fine. If that's who you're talking about. I don't know. Sorry, Channel Surf. Beppis for $5 says, "Go Padres. Can't believe I missed your stupid stream so much. God bless you, bud." Thank you. Thank you. I missed you guys. But I did get some emails like, "Dude, get to streaming, bitch." And I'm like, I'm on vacation, but I will get to streaming. I will. Listen, one of the best times I had in Japan was going to Japanese baseball. It's fucking brilliant. America needs to adopt the crowd experience at Japanese. Listen, the quality of the game, it ain't there. It ain't there, but the quality of the crowd participation is peak. Loved it. And I saw a bunch of Padre hats in the wild. I second the mixtape request. Me playing mixtape. Okay. I have to make a video. It's been a minute. What should I make a video on, guys? What's your ideas for videos this week? I've asked that question once. It was on April Fool's Day. I could do Black Starks. I could do, the Mando thing's kind of flopped and done. I could still make a video of that. But I have another Odyssey video I want to do. We'll do one for Spider Noir. We'll do one for daily when I'm finished watching it. But that's the only one I thought about doing in Japan was a Black Starks video. I was like, what the fuck? But I can make it part of a bigger one. But I think Odyssey. We'll see. Wasn't the Doomsday trailer supposed to come out today or tomorrow at South by Southwest UK? What the fuck is that? There's nothing south or southwest about the UK. What did Gore do? Gore, are you still up? It's only midnight where you are. Are you out there, Gore? Who took care of the pups? My boy, my youngest, who's, 20. So my boy and his friend hung out at the house, and the dogs are doing great. They lost their fucking minds when we got home, and I missed them so much. I was spying on them on our Ring camera just to see my little doggos. But wasn't a Doomsday trailer supposed to drop? I've been hearing this. Hang on. UK. A new longer trailer was heavily anticipated during South by Southwest London. That's fucking retarded. By the way, South by Southwest, the music festival, the thing that actually started it, it's done. Event on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2026, where the directors Russo Brothers teased a surprise by 2 p.m. BST. However, this event did not result in an online trailer release, instead featuring Doctor Doom themed coffee promotions and Easter eggs. So the only trailer is from CinemaCon, which they haven't. Okay, wait till the last minute. I think they're waiting till the last minute because they're reshooting the movie. They sound confused as I am. Brad Rose. I went to this little coffee shop today and got maple syrup latte. Not bad. Dude, those little pancake sandwiches they have in Japan with the maple syrup and the butter, that you're supposed to cook, but they're really good if you just rip the package open and eat it. We had to do an intervention with Michael Collins because he was eating so much of them. Onslaught looks like military MCU. What's that about? I need context. Thank you, Satellite. Fling a wheelie bin for Henry. It says Tabletop Epics for $1.99. Gary, if you see Obsession, take the wife. My wife absolutely loved it. Oh, I will. She goes 99% of the movies. I go with the wife. Date for life. That's what she is. Dibsy for 10 Australian dollars. Gary, I might never hear you read this, but can you introduce Perry to the young ones? So many good quotes that are still relevant that can be used. Fascist. Thanks, man. I got one in a video like last year, but I will. Perry, I know you're out there. I know you're awake. There's an old British show called The Young Ones that we in the States were introduced to with MTV. And it's a socialist, a punk rocker, a hippie, and what would you call Mike? Just kind of a dude. There must be some term where he fit, but I don't know where it is. But man, it is such a fucking good show. The Young Ones was brilliant. And 2 seasons, right? So there's 16 episodes. It is filled with good clips. Someone in the chat made a good point. The Super Bowl ad for Mandonius and Grugu cost as much as the Backrooms movie was to make. Hell, holy shit, you're right. Name doesn't matter. For $10, your name matters here. Nerd, do you think the origin story with Splinter, Hamato Yoshi, and Shredder, Haruko Saki, could have a spark at launching a new direction for TMNT films if a director-writer has the balls to do it? I think that time is getting close to pass because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles it's a millennial franchise too, but it's mostly a Gen X franchise. And I think us olds, I think our franchises have had their time, and I'm ready for something new, but we got a great Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie in 1990, but I think it's been wasted giving it to Seth Rogen. Yes, I do think if they found the right person, anything can work. Masters of the Universe will be a great it will be a great, I don't know, barometer of like what Gen X franchises are going to do. Because if it's good and it's still tracking to have like kind of a piss poor weekend, that'll tell you. And then, you know, they don't care about us anymore. Gen Z just showed up for $1 million horror movie and a $10 million horror movie. That's the focus. And if it's good stories, I'm down. All right, Gary. So when are y'all going to make Fargate? Well, not with Amazon, obviously, because they don't think it's got mass appeal. I despise Star Wars since 1994. Nearly all the Star Wars have always sucked. Well, Tiger King, got to listen to our boy Robert Meyer Burnett. Has been out there like Star Wars has sucked since Return of the Jedi. I agree with a lot of his arguments. I don't like Ewoks. Never have, never will. Return of the Jedi is half a 5 out of 10 movie and half a 10 out of 10 movie. And the other part I don't like is Harrison Ford mailing in his performance as Han Solo. That pissed me off. Hello, Gaddy. How was your trip to Japan? I'm trying the best to put out Japanese accent into text. You did a good job. Middleman Madness for $5. It was great. Phenomenal. Last Soup was on the Nuke stream. How was Japan? I went in April and saw Hachiko, the Buddha of Kamakura, and the monkeys of Arashiyama. Loved it. Oh, that monkey island? I'd love to go to that. They have a bunny island. They have a rabbit island and a monkey island. No, we just went to Osaka and Tokyo and parts around there. And we went to some temples. We went to the cat temple, with the little cat that goes like, I'm probably going to be careful doing that. Yeah. We saw some big rocks. We saw the CRTV rock that looks like a giant CRTV. Nerdrotic movie in theaters when? Welcome home. I don't think Hollywood's making a movie about me. I don't think that's happening. J-Rock Law became a YouTube member. Hail. Thank you. You got to have Metatron on FNT when y'all review the Odyssey. Oh, that's booked. That is happening. It'll be stellar. He's been on a roll the last few weeks. Yeah, dude, Odyssey videos. Well, my last one did really fucking well. And I did. So thank you. I'm like, wow, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to be railing on Chris Nolan. I thought I was going to get kind of destroyed, but 1.5 million views. Thank you. And T Down Under has become a member. Hail. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hail, Gary. Welcome back. I finished the Harry Potter full cast. Did you get them done? I did. I thought they were great and made me love the Wizarding World again. They are fantastic. They are so fucking good. I'm going to give it a little time and re-listen to them all again, but it's everything the show won't be. Everything the show's going to do all the things you shouldn't do. Like, here's an example. At the end, spoilers, when Voldemort is defeated, they're gonna do scenes where they're gonna show Petunia Dursley reacting to it. They're absolutely gonna do shit like that, and I'm against it. I'm 100% against it. You don't need to go off book for anything. Those full cast audio dramas have proven you do not need to go off book for anything. There is plenty there. And for people who haven't read the books and maybe you watch the show or listen to this, you'll see how much the movies missed, which is a lot. And I like the movies. I do, most of them. But damn, Deathly Hallows was so good. Festovi, thank you for the 20 Danish krona. And just walking away. It's what you do. Fictitious Dave Savage for 5 British pounds, proper money. There's a big upswing in indie horror. I've written my own script called Canewood. I have a pitch deck for any producer looking for original horror. Hey, dude, this is your time. Strike while the iron's hot, but be careful sharing your scripts. Chris is the person to talk to about that, and he will tell you that it's near impossible to share your script. I would recommend trying to make something, a short film. Fuck it, use AI, do something to visualize it if you can. But you share your script out there, it's going to get ripped off. That's the thing. Japan tour was incredible. What a fantastic group of people we had. Memories and friendships were made. Patrick, hail Patrick. Yeah, that was awesome. I had already emailed you about the lost super chat. Should I send it to X-Ray Girl like you said too? If you email it to me, X-Ray Girl has access to it, and so does the missus, and we will figure it out. But yeah, I would tag X-Ray Girl in it. Yes. And you can go do that. She'll take care of it when she gets home. Greetings from Croatia, Gary. Keep up the good work. Hail. Thank you. And hope your things are well in Croatia. Absolutely right about experiences. Last year, Egypt, Toronto later in the month, Scotland in February. Already been to Machu Picchu, Tassie, Ireland. Awesome. Yes. If you're going to go into debt for anything, go for experience. Not a car. A former Netflix exec who joined Amazon Studios killed Stargate series because it serviced an existing fan base too much. Oh. That sounds like the logic of a former Netflix executive. Oh my God. Yeah, Hollywood's going to Hollywood, Matthew. I'm sorry, buddy. I know you were looking forward to that. Production budget, $750,000. Some reports are rounded out to $1 million. Worldwide box office, $156 million, $111 million domestic, $45 million worldwide. I think it made a profit. Backrooms production budget, $10 million. Worldwide box office, $126 million, $89 million domestic, $73 million international. Says MD Turner Noise. Turner and Noise. Man, I'm screwing that up. Thank you for the 10 Australian dollars. Next time, come to Hiroshima. I'm still in Japan. Woogie boo boof. We will. I'm going back. I'm 100% going back. That is a country I'm going back to. Egypt, maybe after World War III is over for the 5th time. But I am not going to the Middle East right now. Fucking Michael. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go to Egypt, but I am going to Libya. Like, bro. He's ex-military. Just jump back on. Old super chats. They're lost, Brendan. They're lost. I don't know if anybody screen recorded it. Maybe Perry did, but yeah, they're lost for right now. Gary, what do you think of Masters of the Universe? I don't know yet. To me, it looks like kind of a Marvel movie, but as I said when I first reacted to the trailer, if they lean into it being kind of just fun, like Flash Gordon, I'm fine with that. I think that would be really cool. I saw, what was it? IGN, who I don't believe. They mentioned Flash Gordon and it was like a parody, but it was parody and earnestness. I'm fine with that. I heard the approach to this was the same with Barbie. So take that for what you will. If it's a fun, good movie, I'm not looking for high art from a toy. We lost checks and balances after the Fed Reserve Act, 16th and 17th Amendment. Yep. Fix is in. Pratt getting 0 more votes. Yeah. Is that still happening, by the way? Is Chris still live? I think I'm the only guy live right now. No, I'm on my old. No, we have to sign out, sign back in. If you're new to the channel, this is a stream of consciousness stream. I do these solo streams normally on Nerdrotic Live, but I can't right now because I showed the Black Snake video and the YouTube AI didn't like that and took down my stream and then blocked me from streaming on Nerdrotic Live, but I could stream on Daily or Nerdrotic and it's fine. So that's what I'm doing. Did Jeremy Johns like? Oh, there's a Jeremy Johns review. It's asking me to rate my own stream. Well, I like it a lot. I think it's fantastic. 5 stars. It's relevant, informative, useful, pleasing. Yeah, there you go. Just like have me rate my own stream. I'm a little biased, but I'm going to do it. Let's see. Doobie doobie doo. Resend. To be fair, Tyrion. Oh, I read that one already. But thank you. You don't have to please. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. And I have a bunch to square up, and we'll get it done. We'll get her done. I read. Okay, why am I lost again? Starks will be back black in season 3 of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. They're ready. I wouldn't be surprised at this point. They've already race swapped one character, which they really shouldn't have. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Goombas. Well, my sperm donor father, who I've never met, the guy who impregnated my well, shit. I think at the time she was 15. She had me when she was 16. Never met him, but he was a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints. That's the one of the 3 things I know about him. Every group has a group bias, including Mormons and Jews, except for white people, of course. They can hate themselves. Also, the footage is out. Oh, the cam footage, good. And those cops need to go to jail. They need to go to jail. They were complicit in, okay, if it was a citizen doing that, if it was 3 citizens doing what those cops did, that would be manslaughter, right? At the very least, it would be manslaughter. And you go to jail for manslaughter. I remember being in jail with this poor kid who fell asleep at the wheel. He wasn't drunk or anything. Fell asleep at the wheel, killed his cousin in a car accident. He survived. So he had survivor's guilt. He was incredibly depressed, and he was forced, and this was in the late 80s, he had to do a minimum year in county jail for falling asleep at the wheel. It's tragic all around. But those cops probably be given a raise. I did see some of the Sikhs calling the guy out, the Sikh killer out. So that's good. The toughest thing to do is calling out your own, you know? So happy you got to go to Japan. Been there 6 times. Your next visit, Small Woods, and create your own action figures. That'd be fun. Oh, we just scratched the surface. And it's a nerd culture. Like they have, I'm going to forget the name. Chat, help me. What's the name of the places that's in Tokyo? And it's I always want to say Azkaban, but it's R something. And then it spells Mandrake, but it's Mandrake or something like that. So it's a building with multiple stories of action figures, manga, art. It's a comic convention in a building. So it's like Frankensons. If you've ever been to Frankensons in Los Angeles, it is an established con, right? They bought the building, they have booths, and it's secondhand stuff. They have entire fucking buildings and districts. And there's a shop called Super Potato. And if you're a Nintendo fan, that's your mecca. That's where you travel. Like, I'm not a Nintendo fan, and I was blown away. I'm walking the store, and the first people I think of are Jeremy and Kristanova. I'm like, they would never leave this store. They would never leave this store. But it's amazing. So what's funny is like each floor has its own themes, and then the top floors are always like hentai and porn. I didn't go. One thing I did get, oh, I wish I could show it to you. I'll show it to you next stream. I got a one-piece animation cell of Sanji smoking a cigarette. That's my big find. I got a one-piece animation cell because I am the biggest one-piece fan in the world now. Bigger than Logan Paul. I was looking for Shonen Jump. It was 1996 issue 34 or 36. I can't remember. The first appearance of One Piece. I was looking for a lower grade to buy because I can't afford the higher grade, but I couldn't find one. Super Potato is the shit. Yeah, there it is. Was willing to give Mormons the benefit of the doubt until I saw Shad was anti-possum. He's anti-possum? I mean, I'm not going to say like I want them as pets, but I'm not anti-possums. Do good work out there in nature. See, I wasn't a bright kid. I'm not a bright adult. So we had a possum in our backyard of our apartment. This is when I was a teenager. I was really high. And I thought it was dead. So we picked it up with a shovel gently and put it in the trash can. And then after I did that, I'm like, wait a minute. Playing possum. Possum. Went and checked the trash can. And it was looking up going, what the fuck, dude? Why'd you put me in here? They really do play dead pretty well, though. No, I don't hate possums. I like animals. Novak. Oh, yeah. Here's the Novak was dragged out of a corner as his lungs were filling with blood. He said he was stabbed, and the police snickered and said, don't think so, mate. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. I want to know their names. I want to know their badge numbers. I want to know everything about these guys. UK should be furious about this. And then the guy who killed him, they're like, he got life in prison, 21 years. See, that's why I'm not too worried about my visa. Like, you're kind of soft on crime over there in the UK. You kill somebody like that here, well, I don't know if it's a white guy. It depends on, I guess it depends on where you kill him. Kill him in Chicago, probably walk free. The police may not be our enemy, but they are for sure not our friends. And nope, he supports terrorism and he doesn't care about speech, only his F him. Well, I mean, particularly in other countries. Like I said, I'm friends with some cops and some former police who I love dearly. But they'll be the first to tell you, oh, there's some fucking shitty ones out there. And I have met so many shitty ones. And wow, do cops really feel free, or prison guards really feel free when they're around prisoners? Like they're unaccountable. They can do what they want because they know you can't do shit. So do cops let you go and keep your drugs? Yes. Happened to me multiple times. I'll just keep this for evidence. And we won't charge you. And I'm like, cool, fine. But that happened a lot. And prison guards, don't get me started on them. Well, what's this? Just about to head to work. Hail. Eric, John, Pizza Art. Get your ass to work. You heading to work? What are you making? Pizzas at 4 a.m? Where you at? Nick Shirley is Mormon and lives near me. He needs to investigate the American Fork Police Department. He might. Listen, I went down the Mitt Romney Mormon Mafia rabbit hole and whoa, dude. My. Yeah, fuck Mitt Romney. Better trip, Japan or Egypt? Japan. Egypt has better, like, the monuments and the stonework and the megaliths are far superior in Egypt. The only problem is they're in Egypt. See, the thing was, when we were in Egypt, we can go and see all the sites all day, and we spent all our day doing that. But then once you're in the hotel, you stay in the hotel. You don't go out and do anything. You maybe can go out to dinner, but your women need to be with their men. You can't let your women roam freely in Egypt. In Japan, Spider-Nor was so woke, I couldn't get through the first episode. Set in the 30s as a feminist secretary who financially supports her husband. That part. The only thing that bugged me about the secretary was she was a better investigator, but then they brought her down the size when in the later episode when Silvermane's people were roughing her up and she had a gun pointed at her face the first time and she's like, I quit. So they balance it out. The most cringe thing was the fucking the female doctor and the male secretary. I was like, come get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Now, you know what would have made it work if they were like Germans. That's what it would have made it work. But back, I was like, oh, come on. Come on. Paying attention to the whole Oregon Lego thing. I will be now, but that just seems, I'll just pay attention to it. I don't think I'll cover it because it sounds to me, it's a one subject thing that a channel, if it focuses itself on just that, will grow exponentially. But once that subject is over, it's over. Now, as just a watcher of YouTube, I'm totally into it. I was watching what I could. Listen, I don't want to bitch too much, but fuck United. How could you not have internet on your fucking planes? United has, guys, before you book with United, none of their internet worked on their domestic or international flights. I don't know what the fuck is going on. That makes a brutal. Thank God I downloaded a bunch of stuff, or I would have watched the whole thing. It sounds fascinating, but as far as covering it, if you're going to be a YouTuber covering it, don't make it your only thing. It's kind of like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It'll get a lot of attention, and then you got to find the next thing. But God, who's the guy who's covering it? I forgot his name, but Kid. He's been doing great with that stuff, but I don't know enough about it yet. It sounds fucked. You just had to bring up One Piece again. I did. I was just in Japan. I'm wearing a One Piece shirt. I got, I think it's some Bandai Thousand Sunny, a Marine ship, and Going Merry that I'm going to hang from my ceiling. We had to buy an extra bag so I can put all my shit in it. I got a Medicom Toys McCoy Henry Jones, which is, you have to go to conventions. It's just not something you can buy in America. Oh, and by the way, all these hot toys, I'm getting them for $150 US. So I got a George Clooney Batman for $150. I got a Henry Jones for $150. Got the Arabian Horse from not from Toys McCoy, not Medicom. Toys McCoy, not Real Action Hero. So Real Action Hero, Toys, Medicom, Henry Jones, and then a Toys McCoy Arabian Horse, which is normally $1,000. Got it for $175. I got a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Genghis Khan. It didn't have with raping action, but I got a Genghis Khan action figure. It was like $10. Like everything was super cheap. I could have bought more. I could have bought a lot more. The only really expensive thing was the One Piece cell. How was the pizza in Japan? Didn't have any. I heard it was fine. The steak, the Wagyu and the Kobe I had best steak dinner of my life. We found some restaurant that was 2 blocks away from the hotel, and all they served us was Kobe strips on these like little panels, and we got to cook it ourselves on this little, wood heater in the middle of the table, and it was so good, and we just kept ordering it. And I ate so much of that shit. It's funny, Michael Collins texts me before we go to Japan, Wandering Wolf. And here's the text. I'll read it to you. It's funny. Where does it go? And you could certainly take it wrong. Where is it? We did a lot of texting there. Oh my God, we did too much texting. So he said something to the effect, God, where'd it go? It's so funny. Damn it. I'm building it up. Now I have to find it. Oh, I can't talk about that one. That'll be great. Oh, ready to have the cleanest bee-hole of your life for 2 weeks? And I'm like, I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to take that. And then I realized what I just said. But he was right. The food is so good. You have the cleanest bee-hole you will ever have in your life. The great Carfellini for $20. Thank you. In these hard times, urge you to watch the Napa Boys, only independent company made outside of Hollywood system that is actually insane and is the Criterion collection of straight to DVD American Pie spinoffs. I'll watch it. Mr. Coma is 42 is a new member. Welcome. Welcome, Mr. Coma. Glad you're awake to see this. Tehevel Bunny or is it T Evil Bunny for $5 says, did you guys make it to Kamakura? Really cool old religious structures, statues, and history. I keep the names, man, the names all sound the same to me. That's the problem. Hoorah, Japan. I will look. Yes. No, that maybe not. That looks like the shrine we went to, but I didn't see that big old Buddha. How familiar are you with Berserk? Not super familiar, but I've read it and I like it. But I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I like it. It's so sad that it didn't get, the main author didn't get to finish because he worked himself to death. Who took care of the pups? Oh, I read that one. Oh, boy. It's funny to see the whole indie films doing well against Hollywood films with such paltry budget. Heck, Godzilla Minus One had a $13 million budget. Yes, let's not forget Godzilla Minus One. Leave the games to the gamers, and FNT was just a couple of screaming UK guys because you weren't there to moderate them. There was only one UK guy. Oh, Disparu. Well, he's a lesbian, though. A little red. I watched the episode, and I thought it was quite good. Like I said on Twitter, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Lost a point for no Ryan, but it gained a point for no Beardo. You don't need me around. If One Piece got sequel about Luffy's daughter, it'll be called Two Piece. Would you watch it, Gary? No. Because I've already been through that with Avatar, The Last Airbender. Honestly, Doomsday needs more hype to succeed. Imperial Fistan, I agree. They are not hyping it up at all. I don't understand why people think they're always saying hail. And at this point, I'm afraid to ask. I don't understand why people are always saying hail. And at this point, I'm afraid to ask. Nabo, it goes way back. Early days. Didn't start on this channel. I'm trying to remember where it started. Where did it start? I'm going to say when in our sphere, I'm going to say the first time I saw people saying it was Hail Doomcock, but I think it does it predate that? Because I'm pretty sure like war campaign guys were saying hail back in the day too, like early days, before everybody went crazy. But I can't say I know for sure, but I think it was, I'm pretty sure the first place I saw it was Hail Doomcock. But it's like saying, I remember early days of Comicsgate, people would argue like who came up with Comicsgate, and a bunch of people were saying it, like weren't calling it a thing, but off of Gamergate, a bunch of people were saying Comicsgate before anybody. I don't know who thinks they'd taken credit for it, but I don't know. I was in Richard's streams early days when he did them, when he's in his little white socks and there's dirty ones in the corner of the room and he's crumpling up comics, and people were saying it back then. No idea. But the first place I heard it, I think, was Hail Doomcock. But it was meant to be, I mean, to say hail is, it's in Lord of the Rings. Hail the victorious dead, Spider Noir, black and white or in color? Black and white. I had to watch it in color because that was the only thing available to me for download on my phone. But black and white is better. It is better than color. Also, appreciate your stance. It's tough to see the death spiral California is in, but if Pratt can give Bass a run for her money, it will be known that even a commie God Queen can bleed. Yes, numbers and whiskey. And I heard Jeremy pointing this out correctly on the Day Cobra, that the most registered Republicans in any state are in California. That has everything to do with the population. But California is run by 3 coastal cities and a capital in Sacramento that are all heavily Democrat. And how the Democrats have been able to mobilize and work in and take over any institution like our schools, government, the government. Government employees are overwhelmingly Democrat. And why wouldn't they be? Because they'll vote themselves raises and stuff. They have a union, but the taxpayer who pays them has no representation. Now it's supposed to be the politician, but we have no representation. We're going to vote to give ourselves a raise for the 3rd time this year. Yeah, fuck that shit. They don't give themselves term limits. They don't restrict themselves from stocks. Once, Marjorie Taylor Greene, some people like her, some people don't. When she got on the wrong side of the immigration debate is because I think she owned, or her and her husband or whatever owned construction companies. And, it's the thing is, that's why you don't want to back one person, because once they get I highly doubt Brandon Herrera, when he gets to Washington, will turn into some fucking douchebag, because he makes more money on YouTube. He's taking a massive pay cut. He doesn't need to do any of this shit. So, yeah, but that's rare. Then the rest of them, they're all on the fucking same team. And it's hard not to blackpill, but we can't afford to blackpill because those of us who have kids need them to have a future. So we have to fight. And even if it's fighting a losing battle, you still got to fight. You still got to fight. Plus, I really like this country. I love this country. There's no other country where I would have been given a 3rd time loser would have been given a chance. to succeed at all. And all the country did was provide me the opportunity. I still had roadblocks, but not that many. Really, I just lied on my applications. Nobody checked. And then the one time I was honest, they were like, cool. We get a tax. We get, it was Tesla. I had enough. And when I filled out my Tesla application, because I didn't really give a shit if I got the job or not, I was pretty happy in the job I was in. So I asked for the world and I put, yep, felon, gave them the dates. And it felt so good to just be honest about it. And they're like, oh yeah, we get a tax rebate on that. Awesome. And I was like, oh fuck, that's rad. When's the next Buffy stream? Hail sobriety, hail to late night chat. And I can't believe you don't have one story about Japanese mafia, name redacted. I don't think I saw one tattooed guy that they at least in I don't know. They frown on tattoos. Like you can't go into those. Like, unfortunately, I was not able to bathe naked with a bunch of other dudes because I had too many tattoos. So sorry I missed that. But yeah, they don't really, if you're tatted up, they think you're a criminal over there. And rightly so. Good to see you back, Gary Hale. Thanks, Master Austin. Been a member for 43 months. That's brilliant. So I guess Man Buns Are Gay song was bullshit. No, it's still in the works. Dan's been working on it. Dan has stuff going on. Has a lot of stuff going on. We talked about it the other day, and I'm like, it comes out when it comes out. But yes, it will come out. I've heard parts of it. So it exists. You missed my previous donation. Cameraman Zero, I'll look up. Sorry about that. Anyway, do you think they'll keep Dave Filoni, Ryan's best friend, if Starfighter does poorly as possibly sooner? Yes, I think they're that dumb, but I think they should get rid of Dave Filoni right now. Haven't you seen enough? Hasn't Star Wars been embarrassed enough? It's a dead brand. I don't see I see Starfighter doing better, but not much better. So earlier in this stream, Cameraman Zero, I'll take a look. Hang on. Give me a moment. Here, we'll put on some music while I'm looking. Where is the music? What's this? No. This is all right. What's this? Into Space. No. No. This is lo-fi. We have free horror ambiance. Let's just go with all right. I'm looking. If I don't find it on this one before we end the show, I will look up and find it in the back end. In the back end, man. Yeah, it just looks like StreamYard did not populate it. Oh, was that it? No, that's it. Okay. I'll say it again because the old stream donation got deleted by YouTube. Are you going to join Az, Mahler, and others in a play of through a mixtape? Maybe, if they want to still do one. I'm down. I am down. Thank you, sir. Scrolling down. If you watched all of Zach's old streams before he lost his mind, that's how he used to. Scrolling down. Man, he really got upset that I liked Furiosa. Son of a John says, good to see you, Gary. Give a thought on this. I am Christian, not trying to convert you. Not trying to convert, no arguing. Revelation 6:13 and 13:13 speaks about fire from the sky Government and Hollywood doing disclosure. What is the real story? Well, I mean, actually, Revelations is the one part of the Bible I know. I don't think aliens are demons. They could be. I don't know. I don't think aliens are demons. I think the fire from the sky is either a solar event or a meteor or a comet. But one of the things that's in Revelations is something to the effect of the Ark of the Covenant being found. At least the version I read. I don't know if it's apocryphal. I don't know. But yeah, and they just might. I still think it's in Israel. I think it's in Israel. And that's where I think it is real. I think the Ark of the Covenant is real. I think it's technology. That's what I think. It's all good though. You are free to talk about that stuff here. I'm not going to shit on you for it at all. Captain JPS47 is a new member. Welcome. Imperial Fist Stand for $5. What is your opinion on the musical epic? It is based on the Odyssey, but it never claimed to be fully accurate, unlike Nolan calling it the Odyssey. I have not seen the musical epic. I don't know. I'm gonna, though. I did watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which I fucking love, even though it's got George Clooney in it. I fucking love that movie. I like the Coen brothers. Raising Arizona is one of my favorite all-time movies. Gary, I know you're going back to the city to pick up the rest of your stuff, but have you ever been back to Sacramento or Folsom? Not in many years. I did go back to Folsom. I did drive up there. I made a pilgrimage to go up there on one of the anniversaries. It was the 10th anniversary. I went up there and I literally just drove up there, looked at the gate, talked to the where you check in for as visitor, talked to the guard who was there for a little bit and left. But it felt good to be on the outside. I'm going to go to the Bay Area one more time to get my stuff, obviously. But I kind of want to drive by my old house. I looked at a satellite photo that looks like they've done good work with it. And go visit a couple of homies up there. You know, maybe do a little meetup with old comic shop employees and customers, and then never go back again. Just being at the airport, it sucked. Thoughts on Supergirl? Bad or very bad? Very bad. J-Rock Law, very bad. The DCU is cooked. Dark Zero 0609 for $4.99. Glad to see you made it back okay. It was great meeting you, Gary. Hail, brother. Now back to drawing board. I just got back to Houston. Hail FNT. Well, I'm glad you made it back safe. Glad you made it back. And it was brilliant. Thank you for coming. You guys are fucking awesome. And you know what? It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm still going, by the way. I'm just doing a reset here. And I haven't slept in many hours. Hope I'm doing okay. Just 2,800 of you. Yeah, I can make it to 3:30. We can do it. You're up late, you old fart. How was Japan? Culture shock. Keep crushing, Gary. Kevin Hunts for 50. Thank you. I am doing great. Life is good. Life is good. Got hit on Nerdrotic Live. Can't stream there for a little while. But as long as I can stream here, I'm okay. We're still going to upload stuff there. So we can upload stuff on Nerdrotic Live. But just can't stream there for however long. Haven't gotten a straight answer. But I can stream here. As long as I don't show that Black Snake video. But I'm not going to run around. I almost called this stream My Channel is Under Attack, but I'm just not going to do that. It's fine. I will live. Critic Al reviews YouTube for 10 British pounds. Proper money. Welcome back, Gary. Next time you go, you have to include Kyoto. Arashiyama is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. We hung out with Anna, snarkeologist, back in 2029 for Gundam's 50th. Yeah. Anna, who joined us for the megalithic part, who is an actual archaeologist. She was great. It was so great hanging out with her. Try everything you can to meet your real dad, even if you don't like him. I would try again. At least you know where you came from. Kevin Hunts for 50. Thank you for the 50. I guess the only thing I'm curious about is what he looks like. I'm fine with a picture, but let's be real. He's had 56 years to find me, and he's never lifted a finger. So, and he wasn't my dad. I was raised, I had a father, and he has passed. His name was Arvin. Loved him, miss him every day. But I did meet my mom, which was awesome. But I mean, I don't even know if he's alive. I know he was alive 10 years ago. We were close to finding him, and I just went, nah. I know what state he's in, and I know his name, know his religion. What I am curious about, now I'm curious again, is if he had any other kids. So I probably have half brothers and sisters out there that I don't know, which is kind of odd. It's kind of odd that I haven't pursued that, but I got busy. Oh, you know what? The wife looked into that 3 years ago. It was right before COVID happened. So it's 5 years ago. And I think I have a couple of half siblings out there. I don't know if they're male or female. Maybe I'll pursue that. It's, you know what, Kevin, it's around my birthday I get curious about that stuff. Do you know of the book, The Camp of the Saints? No, I don't. Scylla Felix, what's that? I'm going to look. Whoops. Got up. The Camp of the Saints is a 1973 dystopian novel by French author Jean Raspail that depicts the destruction of Western civilization through mass immigration from the Third World to Europe. Whoa. The narrative follows a 1 million-strong migrant fleet sailing to Calcutta, India, from Calcutta, India to French Riviera, inspired by biblical apocalypse. Holy shit. Now, I got to read it now. All right. You sparked my interest. It's not the kind of book they're going to be writing these days. Very happy you enjoyed Japan, Gary. I am too, Jason. And I hope you can get there if you haven't been there. Thank you, Jason. Hey, Gary, hope you're well. I am well. Do you have a list of places you and the gang visited in Japan? I'm going in August and would love some ideas. I can gather one for you, Mickey, because we had an itinerary. X-Ray Girl. If you email me at Gary@nerdrotic.com, either X-Ray Girl or Melissa can give you what our itinerary was. I ran into a guy. So one of your fellow members of the fellowship was actually there on a business trip. He does cons, so he buys all his stuff in Japan and flies back. He just happened to be there, and we just happened to run into each other. And he's been to multiple meetups. So I ran into him in Tokyo, which is insane. Somebody recognized Ryan in Tokyo who wasn't part of the trip, which is insane. And then I get on my plane home, and the guy sitting next to me goes, "Are you Nerdrotic?" I'll never heard of him. No, but yeah, it's surreal. It's surreal. And I already told this to Jeremy. You know what's the second thing he said to me? He goes, are you Nerdrotic? I'm like, yeah. Nice to meet you. Got his name. And then he goes, I really appreciate you staying out of the drama. It's like, no problem. Thank you. No problem. Don't think it's a secret. Bring back public executions. It would discourage people if you had public they're supposed to be public. For one, oh my God, I don't want to go through this debate. I am actually against the death penalty. I'm against it. Not that I don't think, like, if somebody harms a children, so I'd love to see him go up against the wall and get fucking brutally, destroyed. I'll just say, because I'm on YouTube. Problem is, I don't trust the state. I don't trust the state. And I've never trusted the state. So I'm not some fucking hippie. I'm just I don't trust the state. And if we had a way to find out absolutely it was this person beyond the shadow of a doubt, fine. Because I think a lot of stuff, but if you harm a child, you have just forfeited your right to live, and better luck next time, fucker. But I don't trust the state. And I can say it sucks that we pay for it, but living out a life in prison ain't great. It is horrible. It is utterly horrible. Even if they have you're like, they have a TV and they have comforts. No, they have a window to the real world that they will never, ever be part of. And it is a form of them torturing themselves every day. So it's way more cruel to have them live out a life of misery than giving them an easy way out. Some people might disagree, and you're fair to disagree now. But I don't trust the state enough to, because they've gotten it wrong. And if there's even a slight chance you're going to get it wrong, it's like, ugh. And again, having been in prison and seeing how a level 4 lives, yeah, that's no life anybody wants. They're miserable. They're fucking miserable. They're not happy. Pratt wins LA. I don't think Pratt wins LA. I want Pratt to win. I contributed to his campaign. I don't contribute to campaigns like ever. I contributed to his campaign. So I want him to win. Yes. Very much so. For my fellow Californians who are out there, for my buddies who live in LA, Japan has a rich history and vibrant culture. It does, Jason. And they honor it. They respect it. They respect each other. I mean, it's a somewhat, in some aspects, it's a repressed society, but no more than any other society is. I think a lot gets made of that. But they work hard. Holy crap, do they work hard. Ryan was happy in Japan with no doctors and engineers. Yeah, we did see some doctors and engineers in Tokyo. We did. Pro tip, downloaded movies and TV Amazon Prime before. For what? Oh, for flying on a plane? That's what I did. Unfortunately, I could only download color for Spider Noir. That sucked. Kevin Hunts for another 50. Kevin. Come on. Kevin. Says Mel Mack was pro free speech, harassed over nothing. Christians are not perfect. That is the whole point. We are sinners and we make mistakes. Absolutely. But I don't know. I think online people overreacted to her. Lame. As far as her stances on that's not for me to decide, Kevin. I mean, I will respect your opinion, and Melanie can absolutely have her opinions, as right or wrong as I think they are. But yeah, my problems aren't with Melanie Mack. I will just say this. I'm a big fan of consistency. I'm a big fan of consistency and authenticity. And when that gets questioned, I have a problem with it because that's just how I run my life. It's not a fucking YouTube thing. And I'm sure that's how she runs hers through her religion, right? Mine is based on the principles of Alcoholics Anonymous, which require, I gotta say this slowly, rigorous honesty. And if I don't do that, I'm fucked. If I don't, that's just how I have it in my head, and that's how it's worked for me. I work the program as well as I can because I didn't before. I didn't take things seriously before, told little white lies before, or ignored certain things that were against my values before. And I don't, and I'm not here to judge or Melanie Mac in any way, shape, or form, but some people see it your way, Kevin, and some people see it the other way. I generally stay out of those debates because A, I don't have all the information, so I'm not going to pop off about it. And sometimes I have more information than I ever wanted. But thanks, brother. I think if you're attacking anybody based on their religion, or you're just dismissing them because of their religion, I think that's shit. I think Christians get shit on way too much. They are the easiest religion to shit on from the edgelords or the super progressives. But you never see them. Well, you see them picking on the Jews now, but you never see them really picking on Islam or drawing Muhammad or something like or you see Jesus Christ Superstar for the 8,000th time and Cynthia Erivo's playing Jesus. I have her play. You want to be ballsy? Have her play Muhammad. That would be an act of defiance that we have not seen from Hollywood, but they won't because they're cowards. However, as Ryan would say, I think if you are trying to deflect any criticism that's legitimate with your religion, well, that's just not being honest. They're attacking me because of this. And sometimes people are attacked for their religion. Sometimes people are just attacked for, not even attacked, called out for behavior, right? But yeah, I'm not a big fan of people using religion as a shield when it's just normal criticism, right? But thank you, Kevin. Will you drag Az to Japan when you go back? I would love to go to Japan with Az. Love to. He would never leave. He would never leave. It might actually be good for him. He might be happier than Ryan was there. And it's not like Az is sad as Ryan. It's angry as Ryan. But it's all an act, right? Udite, what's up? I went to the Harry Potter Cafe in Akasaka, and OT was literally some of the best food I've ever eaten, regardless of theme. Wow. And this is the man who went to like the metal bars that sat like 8 people. He's got to tell his amazing journey where he took the wrong cab or something, ended up going to hookah bars and metal bar. It's like, that sounded fun. You're just like, I'm going to do the Zen art of navigation. The Zen art of navigation, which is basically ending up where you need to be. Smash JT is a homeowner or HOM. Am I supposed to do the emphasis on the right syllable? I'm not really sure. But thank you, Kevin, for the 50. What's up, Smash JT? He's suing Is he suing or being sued by Alyssa Mercante? I'm sorry, Mercante. I hope he wins. That's all I'm going to say. Gary, how many agents do you send to a level 5 arc? Is this a gaming question? 10. I'm afraid to ask who the fuck Beardo is. Are you frightened? Not nearly frightened enough. I realized Beardo, his name was mentioned in Deadpool and Wolverine. He was Beardo was the tailor that did Wolverine or Deadpool's suit and grabbed him by the balls in the ass and said he was a predator. Hey, Gary, why don't you do all your streams on Rumble? I usually listen to them at work, but the YouTube app requires my phone screen always be on. Thanks. Venom Spidey. I do a lot. We dual stream Friday Night Tights, Forbidden Frontier, and the Nerdrotic Solo Nooners for the most part. But I don't do all because I just like to mix it up a little bit. And the Rumble app needs work. They're trying to get better, but it needs work. But you can also listen to all our streams are uploaded to Spotify, and if you just want to listen, they're on Apple Music, Spotify, Audible, all of those lovely places. If you just, you don't need to see my face. I'm old. The hypocritic, oh my God, hypocritic hof. Sorry, for 100 Australian dollars. G'day, Gary. I'm glad you enjoyed your trip to Japan. Quick compa question. Who is stronger, Odin or Galactus? From the Bronze Age era. P.S. I can understand some of Shad's anti-possum stance. What is this anti-possum stuff? If one of those gets inside your roof, you ain't getting any sleep. Odin, by the way, is more powerful. That's one I haven't thought about a ton, but Odin's a god. Galactus is not a god. Some say Galactus. Now I'm going to have to look at my Marvel. Oh, you said Bronze Age. I'm looking. So Galactus is generally considered more powerful than Odin. I don't know about that, though they are often regarded as equals depending on Galactus's hunger levels. Galactus is a god, though, and you just kind of think that gods are more powerful. But Galactus is more powerful than Thor. He's the Allfather. I guess it depends on how hungry Galactus is. Now, if we go MCU, Invisible Woman and Silver Surfer beat Galactus. Female Silver Surfer. Gary, in a million is my song. Okay, Gary, in a million is my song. You get it? You get it? 1 in a million? 1 in a million. Yes, I do get it. If you read the book. I'm 1 in a million. Not sure that was going to fly. Because of all the racism in this song. But we said, fuck it. That's how I felt. I wasn't really focused on the racism. Welcome home, Gary. What new collectibles and comics did you bring back with you? I hope I can make it to Vegas. Take care. Oh, yeah, Neil Horn. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, my God. Too much to... I'm going to have to show it off on Real BBC. Bags worth of stuff. But my big prize was a one-piece animation cell of Sanji smoking. Let's see. I think my wife sent me a picture of it. That's my passport. You don't want to see that. Un momento, por favor. I thought she sent it, but I guess not. Nope. Yeah, you'll have to wait for Real BBC because it is packed away right now. But thank you, Neil Horn. Oh, meetup, August 6th. We have a date. August 6th, Las Vegas. No time yet. We'll put up the RSVP once everybody gets back. Give us a week. I will announce the location on Friday Night Tights. It is an awesome location. Can't believe we got this place. And you know how much we had to pay for it? Nothing. We had to clear it with some people, which when I tell this story, it will be hilarious. But we had to clear it with some people, considering what the place is and how we had to clear it seems contradictory to what the place is, but I don't care. It was great that they said yes. And yeah, Friday Night Tights. We will announce it. We will announce it. But August 6th of this year, Vegas. Yes, it's going to be hot, but how much time are you going to be spending outside in Vegas? Not much. But back to Vegas for the 6th, 7th year. Crimson Cripple, $1.99. Noons seems very cool. She charmed Ryan. She's a charming lady. We love Noons. Not a vacation. It was a legitimate work trip, says Eric John Pizza Art. It was a vacation. We could have made more content, but I was too busy enjoying it. I have tons of footage. Welcome back. How was your trip? Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I already missed Japan. You know you had a good trip when you're like, oh, I missed that place. I'm also happy to be home. Eric K says, Nerdrotic, at least you are married. No chance of having sex with your half-sibling you do not know about. That's true. If you were Jeremy, it would be normal to do that with the ones you know. That's true. Love you, Gary. Don't always agree with your takes. My God, I hope not. Science guy, but that's okay. It absolutely is. You're a real guy, and I respect the hell out of you for it. Right back at you. I do not expect you guys to agree with everything I say. That would be silly. But the thing is, we can sit there and have our nerd debates. We could be master debaters of nerd. I enjoy those. I enjoy hey, sometimes I could be convinced otherwise. Mahler convinced me to hate the end of Game of Thrones season 4 pretty convincingly. And I'm like, oh yeah. I remember that one. Are you a bit curious to who your birth dad's ancestry? I was shocked when I found out I'm part Italian for my mom's side, rest her soul. Yeah, I know enough. I know everything when it comes to that. So I am 2/3 of the Axis powers, German, Italian, and Scottish. Scottish was the recent one we did with now that the government has all my DNA information through 23andMe. But yes, I am part Italian as well on my mom's side. Absolutely agree with no death penalty because of the faulty state. Glad you made it home safe. Also, it was great to meet you and Ryan here in Japan. Hail. 500 yen. I know the yen denominations now. I super chatted Jeremy today, but it was in yen, and I was like nervous. I was like, what if it interprets it as dollars? So I had to turn on a VPN to pay him his Ryan in Japan tax. The Antiquity became a YouTube member. Hail, the Antiquity. Thank you. I have a public link for the videos I took while evading the cops with those rappers in Osaka, if anyone is interested. Oh, we shared a link in the WhatsApp, Eudite, if you want, that everybody can share their footage so we can make something. So keep an eye on that. If you're not in that, just email me and I'll give you the link for the folder. And we will share it with you. I'd love to see it. I saw a little bit of the video with the cops and the rappers. That was good. Satan rules the air, manipulating high government officials worldwide. We entertain or fight evil spirits, and the government manipulates the public to distract from all the real issues. UAP disclosure / aliens. Yes, 100%. Why do you think UFO files are being dropped? Right? Because the Iran thing isn't popular with everybody. You know, see, the good thing when I put out that post, you know, basically calling out American cities, one of the first replies, which was like, "Oh, you're having fun shitting on America." For one, I'm like, "Are you new? I've been shitting on America since I was born." But you know what the best thing about America is? We can shit on it whenever we want, especially when it's being shit. The whole family of that guy who stabbed Henry fronted court. Mother who did the knife sentencing. Brother and father faced court for weapons offenses. Really? God, that whole story sounds like a fucking nightmare. And who were the two rapists who were let go? And Florence Pugh came out and had some common sense statement about it. Like, this makes me sick. This makes me absolutely fucking sick. So we need, which is funny because we hate women, but we're the ones always like, these fuckers should go away for life, or I don't know, be gelded. It was good to see Florence Pugh, very liberal Florence Pugh, going, fuck that. That's terrible. Women aren't safe. They're not safe, especially when dudes are allowed in the bathroom. That's so funny. Garrett gets in Japan. He's like, I haven't seen any gay shit or trannies anywhere. Now, we didn't get to Tokyo yet, but yeah. No Pride Month in Japan. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Pride's a sin. Who? Oh, was it Jeeves who posted? I don't like it being called Pride Month. Pride is a sin. It should be called Gay Month. Fantastic, Mr. Knox. Thank you very much. Misery Loves Clips for $10 says, Chrissy and Frank have started reporting Nerdrotic channels. Frank will not take firing Chrissy lying down. It happened to me. Now it's happening to everyone else. It won't stop until someone stops them. Thank you for the $10. I would need evidence of that. I would need evidence. Now, there has been a lot of flagging of channels, and I think once that gets put into the air, that opens the door for everybody to do it. So once the person initiates this and tries to makes it sound okay, then everybody's going to do it, and it's going to be a complete shit show. You know, it's a good unwritten rule, kind of like snitching. Listen, I'm not pro-crime or anything, but just something ingrained in me. I can't snitch, you know. For a while in my life depended on it, but there's just something about it I don't like. As far as content creators go, that's the one thing that unites everybody. So once that's put in the air, and once you do that, especially if, say, for example, not mentioning any names, you're out there going, I fight for free speech. I'm a free speech absolutist. And you're flagging channels down. Oh, you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. And you know what? I'd respect the person more if they said, yeah, I fucking flagged it. Just admit the truth. But to pretend it's not happening and it's antithetical to everything we do around here. So I'm not a fan. Now, but I honestly haven't heard of things since I was in Japan, and I'm staying out of this shit. When my Nerdrotic Live got hit, it was hit by a video I played. Okay, it's not by anybody else. But if somebody has evidence of that, then that's on the perpetrator. But as I've stated before, I'll state again, I don't do drama. Everybody knows this. This is no secret. Anybody who's ever streamed with me or been around this channel for a certain amount of time. And funnily enough, the drama that I have gotten involved in, I have not started ever. It's always been something else, right? And it just gets plopped in my lap, and I'm like, yeah, I don't do this. Bye. That's it. Brother Gary, welcome back. Cheers. Thank you. I am Mark Smith. Been a member for 68 months. That's awesome. Cheers, Gary. Email sent. Good to see horror doing well, though I reckon they left money on the table by not targeting the audience. Well, I don't think so. I think it'll turn out that they left no money on the table and they maximized it, but that was through word of mouth. I don't think those lower budget films don't have the money to target the audience. I get what you're saying, Mickey, but I think they did just fine. Happy Miki month, Gary. Are you calling Miki gay? Because February was Miki month, or Juneteenth can be Miki Day. Oh my God, it's Pride Month and Juneteenth all in the same month. Aren't you excited? I'm glad there was a bunch of NFL teams that didn't share Happy Pride Month, and one of them's the Cowboys. Respect to the Cowboys. And the Rangers were one of the only teams that didn't do it. And my fucking Padres do that bullshit. It's silly. It's silly. It used to be a day, like Pride weekend. It wouldn't land on the same weekend for every city, but it would just be a parade on the weekend. And it's like, fine. That never bothered me. Like, fine, that's cool. Then it turns into a fucking month. I mean, for a couple years there, it was Pride year. And it just gets annoying. Like, we have gay people in the chat. They're cool. Do you want to hear us going, we are going to celebrate penises and vagina all month long, talking about that penis going right in that vajayjay. Crushing pussy month. That's what we're going to have. It would get annoying if you're a gay person. Well, it gets annoying for us. And it's coercion. Nobody likes coercion of any kind, of anything. It is a free country. You are free to do what you want as an adult, and I respect your decision and don't get involved in domestics or personal lives or anything. And if it makes you happy, that's great. That's awesome. But when we start pushing, let's teach kids sex of any kind in kindergarten, that's a no for me, and for most people. That's a losing proposition, and it looks exactly like what it is. Grooming. Listen, I was in San Francisco before all this shit. They were doing this shit years before you were seeing it. So Drag Queen Story Hour, they were doing that shit in San Francisco in 2005 and 6 and 7. And you know what I did? My kid didn't go to school that day. And the teachers knew why. They didn't trip on it. Now, I lost my mind on one teacher. You know, my son, who's on the spectrum, was being completely ignored in public school, which was sad because the one thing I'll credit San Francisco public schools for was their work with autistic kids when they were in elementary was great. Was fucking great. But then when they get to junior high and high school, completely forgotten. So my kid was just being pushed in the back, didn't have time for him until one of the teachers said for creative writing, he had to write about his white privilege. So me and that teacher had a little talk. And it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. So I said to her, so how is my son is he going to write about his autistic white privilege? Is that what we're doing here? No, my son is not going to write this. He's going to write a different subject that has nothing to do with politics or your personal politics, and you will grade him fairly on that. And she did that. I was very firm. Very firm. I was streaming the day after that happened, so somewhere on this channel, there's a stream where I'm fucking fuming about it. And that was like a week after they kept all the kids from going into a school because there was one naked homeless dude jacking off in the fucking front door of the school. So they just shut down school that day. And if you want to know where my kid's school was at the time, Matrix 4 was filmed right across the street. There's a cafe. The cafe scene, that's where his school was. I remember having to drive around 10 blocks to avoid, to find parking to pick up my kids so they can shoot a shitty Matrix movie. Yeah, it was. So that's when we pulled him out and we were going to put him in a Catholic school. And like, if we had to convert, fine. We didn't have to, but we were willing to do that to get him in that school. He gets accepted, then COVID happens. And we move. The questions I have are, where are the official alien interrogation videos? Why don't the UAPs stop dancing in the air and land on the White House to make contact? Why do aliens keep abducting us? Dumb. So I have an answer for some of this, what I believe. They aren't here to conquer us. They're here to observe. I think we are nothing more than a giant ant farm to them. And they are so far ahead of us that it's even scarier. They're ambivalent. Like if they accidentally kill some of us, well, kind of like how we'd feel about a bunch of ants. I think there's multiple races. I think they have entirely different motives. And there's a saying that as above, so below. I also believe as below, so above. So even though they're advanced, they're still going to have their own motivations. And there's probably one race that does want to conquer us. There's probably one race that are like hippies. No, you got to leave them alone. Leave them to their thing. And we're just being observed. And I don't know how much they can interact because the distances are so far. They're either interdimensional, so they're occupying the same space, but in a different dimension, or they're so far away that the grays are just drones. They're just, organic drones. And they can't do much. There's Stephen Greer out there who believes that they all come in peace. I don't believe that. Not for a second. Not for a second. Now, as far as abductions, there is some lore out there that we have made a deal with them, trading technology, some technology, And in return, we let them take a couple people now and then for whatever. Watch Forbidden Frontier. And why don't they land on the White House lawn? That would be like trying to. It would be like us trying to have a conversation with a queen bee. Our minds probably can't even communicate with them. They are in such a high level of existence. Like we couldn't even talk to them. Gary, I remember that stream. Japan looked sweet. Rollo Films, thank you for remembering that stream. I was pissed. I'm like, you will not believe what just fucking happened. All right, let's see. I'm going to double check some things here. Oh, wait, I don't need to go to that window. I can go to this one. Well, I think we passed the test. I think YouTube's fine if I stream other places, so that's good. Oh my God. 1.5 million views. That's awesome. Pop culture, dead subject. Isn't it funny that a lot of the politisphere people are starting to talk about movies and games a little more? Not just like jumping on some Google trend. They're starting to break down. I think I find it interesting. I saw Michael Knowles interviewed a furry. Some people are saying it's a good interview. I don't care. Again, you can be a furry as an adult, do whatever weird shit you want to do whatever, fetish you're into. I don't have to like it or accept it. I will respect that it exists. I'm not going to get in your way. Just keep it out of my fucking face. Let's go here. Welcome. This is Amir Sadek for 2,500 Arab Emirate pesos. Says, welcome back, Gary. Did you buy manga other than One Piece while there? And what arc are you on? I'm still early, but I'm going to read it now. That's what I'm committed to. I'm not just going to watch the anime. I'm going to read it. But no, I was given some One Piece and I got the latest Shonen Jump. So I have the latest chapter, but it's in Japanese. So I got to use my Google Translate to read it. But I did buy the latest chapter. Gary, do you remember the show Sightings? How can I forget? I was so pissed that X-Files eventually took over that slot. I loved Sightings. I watched it every Friday in prison. Pre-Dawn Corpse, thank you for the $2. All right. If I missed any, X-Ray Girl will get them for our what's going to be massive square up. Massive square up. I'll hang out for 6 more minutes. We'll just do 3:30 a.m. Fuck it. I can't believe I'm still awake. But as it stands, we're going to do a nooner tomorrow with Chris at 11 a.m. And he can tell you know what? I'm just going to go, Chris, tell me about the election. And then I'll just kick back. Mag. Okay. Did I not read yours? Oh, I see it. Okay. Thank you. Magway guy for $5 says, glad you had a great time in Japan. Wish I could have been there with you all. At least I could try to make Vegas happen. Thursday, August 6th, you said? Yes. Thursday, August 6th. I don't know the time, but it will probably be 6 or 7 start time, and it goes to like 10 or 11. So you can book your hotels once you find the location. Now, the reason we do it on a random weekday is it's easier to book places. So if you're a content creator and you ever want to do a meetup and you've got a following, it's pretty fucking easy. You just go, hey, we're going to this city, and if you have a bar on a weekday, that you want to have the best business night of your life, because the fellowship drinks like motherfuckers, give us your place. And I always guarantee it by buying 1 or 2 rounds of drinks for everybody. So that kind of gives the deposit. So that's the only money I put out for it. And they provide security and everything else, and it's free. You don't need to do anything like crowdfund or charge for tickets. I think that's silly. I think do what you want as a creator, right? I feel like I need to give back somehow, because this channel happening this late in my life was such a gift. And it's so much fun. And I get to go to Japan now and hang out with you guys and all this crazy shit. And it's because of you guys. And we can never lose sight of that. Like, gratitude is an important thing. And it's a principle that I followed that has made me happy, that has fought my depression, that has fought my anxiety. And it's just changing my mindset of gratitude and realizing that I'm just a regular dipshit like everybody else. Well, you guys aren't dipshits, but just, I'm a dipshit. And, we have this great, content creation requires a mindset, a work ethic, but none of it makes sense. And like behind the scenes, when I'm talking to Mal or Az or Jeremy, there's always some point during the week we go, this is nuts. This never should have happened to me. Like, ever. This is so fucking weird how this happened. I start up, using YouTube as basically an archive for my podcast that nobody listened to, and then decided one day, I'll just record the podcasts on YouTube, and then we can put them up on, iTunes or whatever. And never thought that people were watching. And then it's like, hey, maybe I should try making videos. That looks fun. I know how to edit. And here the fuck we are. This is nuts. And it's the only way I could show my appreciation. I don't think it's enough, but I wish we could do more of these. But throwing you a party is the very least we can do. And I live for these things. This is what makes the job super fun. I am not an introvert. I will hang out with you guys all day, all night. It's good. And now we have MegaCon, which is tons of fun. We got these trips now, but we'll always have Vegas. Always have Vegas. Yeah, it's like a pizza party, except you guys get to get drunk. Now, when it hits about 10:30 and you guys are in your cups, it makes the conversations a little more interesting. But it's all good. It's all good. So, we are all deep sheets. Hail to the deep sheets. The deep sheets. Yeah, but you're our dipshits. And if anybody calls you a dipshit other than me, I'm going to take them to task. The Misfits rule, says Pre-Dawn Corpse. Yes, they do. Greatest punk rock band ever. Very popular in Japan, by the way. Yeah, I had a podcast. It wasn't even called Nerdrotic at the time. It had a terrible name. Absolutely terrible name. Hollow Chiclets for $5 says, it's amazing how Japan has largely avoided the message in their entertainment. The difference between Star Wars Vision Volume 1 and 2 is a good example. Huh? Yeah, I mean, it's there, but the reason manga is so successful is there is cooking manga, soccer manga. There's a manga about every niche subject out there. There's everything. And American comics used to have that and doesn't. I miss pulp. I love that, like, Razor Fist is keeping the pulp torch alight. I was just talking to my son about this, and one of the things that ruined comics was Alan Moore, not Alan Moore himself, but every comic book writer and artist started seeing themselves as something more than what they were. They all of a sudden they thought, like, well, I'm writing the next great American novel, and I am not just drawing a comic book. My art will be in the Louvre. And it's like, no, a lot of pulp writers and comic book writers saw themselves as commercial writers and commercial artists. And they just so happen to put out far superior shit because they didn't take themselves so seriously. Yes, you're a writer. Yes, you're an artist. And that's awesome. It's a very unique talent that require, like when done well, I respect it. I respect it. All right. We're going to wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone staying up late. 2,600 of you at the end at 3:30 in the morning. We'll be back in just mere hours to do the Nerdrotic Nooner with Chris Gore. And then I'm going to make a video. So I got to make a fucking video. But thank you for everything. Thank you for the support. Those of you who are in Japan, thanks for showing up. Hope to see you guys at the meetup April 6th in Vegas. It will be fun. We'll see if we can get some special guests there to hang out with y'all. I think I can talk one into going. He went last time, kind of like low key, and it was awesome. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the chat tomorrow. And I have no idea who we have on Friday Night Tights this Friday. But, oh, wait, we got one more. Son of John for 20 says, yes, there are higher beings. We are the ants to them. An agreement was made to trade technology. No, they are demons. The OT mentions, the Old Testament mentions Nephilim, wheels in the sky, and the demons want to distract us and make us question if God is real. Well, I think you can have demons, aliens, and both of them wanting you to question God, who I see as the great architect. That's why I love simulation theory, because it's a way for atheists to work out God. It's kind of cool. But I would never say a definitive no on that one, because I don't know. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good morning, and I will see you in a few hours. Not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather.